wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on her, flaring on her. We Ric Flairing on her. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on her, flaring on her. Jack, we Ric Flairing on her, flaring on her. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Ric Flairing, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death. I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops, then find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elder, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on her, flaring on her. We Ric Flairing on her, flaring on her. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on her, flaring on her. We Ric Flairing on her, flaring on her. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like them other guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on her, flaring on her. We Ric Flairing on her. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on her, flaring on her. We Ric Flairing on her, flaring on her.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Ric Flairing on him, Ric Flairing on him, Ric Flairing on him, Ric Flairing, son up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, we back.
Yo,
Appreciate you for reaching
you a
out.
star.
I'm like, hey, it's outspoken. A lot changed. Granted, the concept we still hosting. Giving you the fix you need when on the screen. The veteran, Captain Petty, giving you medicine. Come tap in. You know Scott gonna do what he do. Might not want to hear it, but here go the hard truth. Perry about the numbers, regret if you're not fact-based. When you run your lane, the numbers seem like a statue. Wait. Hey, Scotty, man, I'm not feeling it. I don't think the people feeling it. Let me get in my bag a little bit, just showing what this outspoken really about to be like. Outspoken, this is more than conjecture. These days they laying people off, so glad that we got our own. Hunger insatiable, made for you if you say you objective. Hard truth offering, no offense, just perspective. Come get your dosage and go with me. We spit it like poetry. The pivot was pivotal, could rhyme here, but I'd rather not. Some say Scotty, some call him Scott, the best one since Stewart. If you know, then you know, but if you don't, then you're lost. Let me be frank for a minute, cause we all know that's how Perry be. Break it down the game for what it was, no apologies. This my hypothesis, you tune in, you like watching it. It's common sense, obvious, competent, rugged, and confident. Hey, we outspoken. We outspoken. We outspoken. Outspoken.
Hey, back. I think we got another one.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Scotty. You already know what it is. Monday night is Outspoken. And you know why we late? It only could be from one person. Uno, man, only one person. All right. But stop. See, man, why you gotta be what you? Oh my God. Listen, me and my son watching the game. He over here yelling and screaming. But anyway, please give it up for my boy, Perry White.
What's up, little man?
Yeah, he over here. He in the office watching the game.
Was that his Christmas pajamas? Got his Christmas pajamas on.
That's his pajamas in general. That's his pajamas for dinner. What's going on?
Okay.
You ain't getting no Southern nothing because you're late. You're running behind everything. You push the whole time frame up.
Life be life. People can understand that out there. If you can't understand, I don't know what you be doing in the world.
Listen, that's real. That's real. You know what I'm saying?
Life be life.
Life do be life, man. Life do be life. How was your weekend, Pete?
It was a good weekend, man. I ain't do much. Chilled out, watched some football, and sat on the phone and figured out how this college football landscape was gonna look. And
man,
you know, if you like football, this is it. You know, I went and watched some high school football as well. So man, just took it slow. I didn't have a game. No SWAC championship this year for Southern. So
I mean that's it's gonna be a pattern coming down. You might as well just kind of get used. I mean, as long as it's not PV, I'm good with it. But
I'm so used to being at SWAC championships. If that's how you
losing.
I mean, that's just the fact.
So you and PV guys are real similar. You and PV real similar.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I mean, kinda.
You gonna get in because they've been twice?
No, but they lost both times.
Okay, I'm just saying I'm used to going to SWAC championships. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
It felt different not to be in one this year, so
and not to lose. I feel what you're saying.
I going to Bayou Classic to end the season. That's just ending the season on a dub.
That pop
got our rival coach fired and everything. I mean, hey,
you got your own coach fired,
but we won the Classic. In this space, okay, HBCU moment for you. In this space of Louisiana, when you're talking Southern and Grambling, you can be disappointed in not being in the championship at the end of the year. But when you end the season with a victory over Southern or Grambling, you feel good moving forward, regardless of the fact. That's how much that game matters. It's like, fuck, we beat Grambling. Hey, I'm cool with that.
Peasy made a very good. He said, who has most SWAC championships since 99?
No. Jackson lost a lot of them. Them Alabama schools been in them and lost some.
Yeah.
Southern.
Didn't y'all lose like 6 straight?
Who?
You. 6 straight. Because, I mean, Alcorn won 6 times. So, I mean.
You got to factor in Grambling and Kincaid those years.
Oh, yeah. God, dog.
Grambling and Kincaid offset. Southern went in 13 and 14. And then 15, 16, and 17 was Grambling and Alcorn back and forth.
Okay.
And 18 and 19 was Southern.
Okay. So they were winning the East. They weren't winning the SWAC championship. But got you. Got you. Okay. Just some clarity. Just wanted to get some clarity on that one. But
No, it wasn't 6 straight, my brother. Let's not be out here spreading lies.
I mean, that's what GG was like 6 straight. You know what I'm saying?
No,
so
my brother.
it was SWAC East champs. It wasn't SWAC championship champs. Yeah. You know,
not be spreading those lies, my brother.
He said Alcorn won out of 6 years. Kincaid won 2.
Yeah, Kincaid got in.
So they slid in there and got in there. But hey, let's get into a little hot and viral. And I gotta listen. First of all, I need this Bama front row center. I need this Bama front row center. Expert troll level. And I said, when he made the video, shout out to Kool-Aid Man for media, for making the video, the PV hype video. First of all, I don't know who gets their ass whooped and then come back to make a hype video about the game. That doesn't make any sense to me, but hey, do your job. Do your job. I get it. Do your job. So he makes a video. I'm gonna play the video. I'm gonna play a snippet of the video. I ain't gonna play the whole thing, but I'm gonna play a snippet of it. And you'll see. Just watch the video.
Let's go. And they put a fit. Remember that. Work on me, work on 3. 1, 2, 3. Word.
No need to put the SWAC championship there. There's no need. Why? So you can go watch the game? Go down to Port Arthur. Go down to Corpus Christi. I don't give a damn where you go. Just don't be at a SWAC championship game because you're not going back.
If Conley is who they're gonna ride on this year, I don't know what he's done in the offseason. I don't know what he's done at spring camp. You're gonna need more production out of him. Let's see what a second-year program under Coach McDough looks like. Is it left over from what Eric Dooley had, or can Coach McDough really put together a program, and can they compete?
I just don't see PP doing that much. Let's go.
Once again, shout out to my man. Okay, shout out to my guy. Shout out to my guy. He that's expert troll level. But in trolling, half the battle is what? P, gotta win. You gotta win, and not getting blown out by 21 is not winning. But when you heard the video, because I called you. I said, yo. I said, no, these Bama's do not have us on a video. You said, what video, Scotty? I said, a video. They don't put us on a hype video. What was your thoughts, P?
What the hell am I doing on a Prairie View hype video? My first thought. You know, so I go check it out and I'm listening. And I'm like, hey, you know, when you think about this show, and I always ask the question, I don't never know who's watching, right?
Yeah.
But clearly, they watching.
They watch.
To go back, because I don't even remember saying that. What show was that?
I don't even remember. I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing, and I'll play it one more time. I asked Josh, I texted Josh, I said, Josh, I need some get back, man. I need you to make a video with my voice over FAMU and talking about, I said the only team that's going to beat FAMU is FAMU. The only competition is in the mirror. I need that on a video because I knew what it was early before all this transpired, but we're going to play the video again.
They put a fit. Remember that. Work on me, work on 3. 1, 2, 3. Word.
No need to put the SWAC championship there. There's no need. Why? So you can go watch the game? Go down to Port Arthur. Go down to Corpus Christi. I don't give a damn where you go. Just don't be at a SWAC championship game because you're not going back.
If Conley is who they're going to ride on this year, I don't know what he's done in the offseason. I don't know what he's done at spring camp. You're going to need more production out of him. Let's see what a second-year program under Coach McDough looks like. Is it left over from what Eric Dooley had, or can Coach McDough really put together a program, and can they compete?
I just don't see PP doing it.
And can they compete? No! Can they compete? No!
Did I ask the right questions right there?
You damn sure did, okay? If you gonna throw, my boy, you better have the horses to back it up, okay? Because the thing I want to, this is the thing before we move on, right? The thing I want to understand is how you can't, the excuses that were made at 45-7, you don't trip, fall, bump your head into a 45-7 win. That's not how that works, right? Now, you can have one of those Jackson State FAMU games where everything's self-inflicted, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't see that. When I watched the game, I ain't see some self-inflicted. I just saw and straight up ass whooping. And then you think you gonna go back to the scene of the crime. You gonna go back to the scene of the crime, and now you gonna come out with a victory in the bigger game? I'm sorry, I don't understand it. I'm lost. I'm confused. But go ahead, Perry. Last point before we move on.
Hey, man. Don't be putting me on nothing like that, and y'all gonna go out there and do that. Now, I listen. I feel good at the fact that they put the voice on there because I can hear me asking questions. So they put my voice on there as though I'm asking questions on something they already had the answers to. Like, yeah, you talking that noise. Is he ready? He is ready. Will he win games? He will win games. If Bubba McDowell got a program, yeah, he do. And I get it. That's cool. But damn, I asked the question about Conley. Can he show up? Can he do it? And you put me on there with him on there. And then y'all go and do. You going out there and have the performance that you did. It is what it is, man. I appreciate the love, though. I always say you never know who watching. I ask that question all the time. I be like, man, I wonder who really be watching this show. Like, what?
Hey, Perry, you gotta lift your camera up. You look like Wizard Kelly. You gotta.
I'm like, where do they be at, man? You know, where who watching this show? And clearly, somebody at Prairie View watching. So thank you. First of all, I'm glad I'm on the video. That means what we're doing. That's some type of voice, right? That's some type of voice, and they listening to that voice. So first of all, thank you for listening. Unfortunately, I just hate you. I had to troll like that, and it's smeared it back.
Ass whoop.
I'm trying to be nice about it because I'm humble.
Because if they would have won, they would have ran that video back 30,000 times about how I said that they weren't gonna be in those SWAC jams. They got their ass whooped. That's what they get. Right? That's exactly what they get. Yeah. I need my payment too. I know they got some views off that too. I need some paper off that. But listen, guys, we gonna jump right into it. You already know what it is. Hey! What? SWAC champ! East champ! SWAC champ! Whatever you want to call them. Now, you know, Willie go Willie might mean a champion. The new thing might be if Willie go Willie is gonna come with a championship. Please give it up for today's special guest, Coach Willie Simmons.
Hey, what's up, guys? What's going on, fellas?
What's going on, Coach?
Man, doing well, man. Excited to be on tonight.
Congratulations.
We're excited to have you, Coach. We're excited to have you.
I think he's excited to be here. I see. Especially after a dub. It feels so good to come on here calling yourself a champion, doesn't it?
Well, hey, I'll let you guys pat me on the back. So I
listen. I will definitely listen. I got you, man. Listen, I'm here for you because listen, I feel like now Willie going Willie, it can mean so much. You know what I'm saying? Before it was so limited, right? But now somebody say Willie going Willie, that comes with some championships, baby. You know what I'm saying? That come with a little hardware, come with an undefeated season. Oh, that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. Coach, I was at the game. Perry wasn't at the game, so he really can't talk about it. That's his thing. If you ain't go to a game, you can't talk about it.
I was watching on TV.
Nope, that's not what you said. I was at the game. I know I talked to a lot of kids from the team. They said this is what Tallahassee and Florida football is during this season. It's the rainy season. Was that at any point in time, did you ever worry about the conditions of the game?
No, not really. I tell the team all the time, the luxury about that is whatever conditions you're playing in, I promise you, the other team's playing in the same conditions. You've never seen a football game where only half the field rains. So again, for us, and we don't. People ask me all the time, "Do you guys practice wet ball drills?" No, we don't do that. I firmly believe that inclement weather only exposes bad fundamentals. And so, if when the ball's a little bit wet, you got to look it in. Well, guess what you got to do when it's dry? You got to look it in. You got to carry the ball high and tight when it's wet. Well, when it's dry, you got to carry it high and tight. You got to keep your feet under you when you're trying to change directions and make cuts so you don't slip and fall all over the place. Same thing you do when the weather's ideal. And so for us, we stress fundamentals. And if you stress fundamentals, the elements shouldn't bother you. And fortunately for us, we were able to go out in a wet game and still play really good football and come away with a huge win.
Coach, you look at your team coming in this game and you was able to force 3 interceptions in this ball game. What was your scouting report when you looked at what Prairie View can do from the quarterback position and what you guys think you could take advantage of? Because you were first in pass defense. You pretty much first in every defense category. Did you see anything that you saw with their quarterback play and how you was able to ultimately game plan for them?
Well, obviously a lot of our scouting is really self-scout, to be perfectly honest. We obviously scout the other team and try to see what they do well. But for us, when you have a dominant defensive line, the one thing for sure is if they're not going to max protect, the ball is going to come out quickly. And so for us, our defensive backs did a really good job of, sitting on routes where we knew based on the coverage, based on their formations, that the tendency said that they were going to get the ball out quickly. And so we the first pass was a little bit high, and I really stressed to our guys all week that, hey, high passes get deflected. Deflected passes get intercepted.
Facts.
And the first one was intercepted by Javen Morgan. Deco Wilson had a big pick on a post ball there later, and then Javen Morgan closed the game out with a huge interception on an RPO that we had kind of been hit on early in the game. So we knew they'd come back to it. We made the corrections on the sideline, the adjustments, and Javen did a phenomenal job breaking on the route. And so, again, it's a lot of self-scouting. It's a lot of scouting the other opponents to see their tendencies. And I think that's what our defensive staff does as well as anybody in the country.
Man, Coach, I'm gonna tell you straight up. Sitting and watching it was a great experience. But I mean, coming out the game with the bomb to Marcus Riley, when I tell you, that's something I did not expect at all. Like I'm like, oh yeah, they about to pound this, because it's raining. I mean, Barry, I don't know if you saw it on television, but it was raining. Okay,
I saw it.
And it wasn't nothing light. So when I see you come out the works and just bomb it, and I'm just like, wow, they're not here to play, and they're going to play their game. I think that speaks to the trust that you have in your players, like a Marcus Riley, like a Terrell Jennings, like a Musa in those situations. And it really didn't, you hear coaches say, we're going to play our game. But essentially, you stuck to what you guys do, which is throw the ball and run off of it. What can you say to that, Coach?
Well, obviously, when you had the conditions that we did, my number one question for Musa was, hey, how do you feel? And he said, well, Coach, I can throw the ball deep. He said, I can throw intermediate. He said, if I have to drive it, then the ball, it's a little bit wet, so I may not be able to drive the ball like I normally do. But I said, can you throw the deep ball? He said, yeah, I don't have a problem throwing the deep ball. So on the script, third play was a double move deep ball. So, Marcus made an amazing catch, a phenomenal individual play. And that really just set the tone, for what the day was going to be like. So, again, you trust your players, you talk to them. Had Moose not felt good, we would have gone off the script. But he said he felt good enough to throw the passes that we had kind of game plan, which most of them were kind of down the field, intermediate. We knew that we'd been running the ball extremely well the last few weeks. And so the only way to really stop that with what we do formationally and personnel-wise is to get the safeties involved. Well, if you get the safeties involved in the run fit, obviously you're leaving those corners in one-on-one matchups. And so we came out with a double move, and Marcus got behind the secondary like he's done most of the season. Moose put a great ball out there, and we were able to start the game with a huge play to get us up 7-0 after the turnover. Got up 14-0, 21-0, and the rest was history after that. But, yeah, we definitely wanted to keep our game plan. I'm a big boxing fan, and I talk to our team all the time. When you watch not heavyweight necessarily, but prize fights, now they're all kind of like welterweight.
Yeah, lightweight.
We grew up in the heavyweight era, but even when you watch those prize fights, it's really about which fighter can fight their style more so than the other. So again, it's the same thing in football. I just want to make sure that we're always in a position to do what we do and play our game and see how fast we can make the other team get out of their game. And we were able to get them out of their comfort zone pretty quickly.
Coach, you look at the fact that now you got Florida A&M. They gotten over the hump, brought home a championship for the first time in a long time. You leave Prairie View to go to Florida A&M. Your vision for this program, you guys had that season before COVID where unfortunately you couldn't play postseason, but you were able to beat A&T, who went on to win the Celebration Bowl. And then the past 2 years falling short to that one loss to Jackson, but finding ways to win games in October and November. When you envision this program, is this finally where you wanted this program to be when you look at all the components able to come together, great defense, and being able to be very efficient at running and passing the ball?
Well, obviously, that's what I think any coach, when he takes over a program, that's what he envisions. Being able to build a championship caliber football team that's competitive year in and year out. And we've done that. Every year since we've been here, we've been a game out. Whether, 2 years of the 5, we actually had the best record. Like you said, in 19, we just couldn't play for it. In 18, we were one game away. 21 and 22, we were one game away. And so we really wanted to make sure that we got over the hump this year, and the guys committed to doing that. And it feels great to do so. But, yeah, you definitely envision building a championship program to where you complete top to bottom.
Hey, Coach, let me ask you this. Your family is FAMU through and through. You got to be the guy at Christmas. I mean, at every holiday function, you got to be that guy. Like, you got to be somebody's favorite grandson, somebody's favorite nephew, because that has to be dope. Like, your whole family's FAMU, right? And you're the head coach that brings the championship to the crib. How does that feel walking back to the crib, like back into the house and be like, yeah, I'm that guy? Like, come on.
Well, I'll tell you this, Scotty, and I sense it after the games, right? When, we go out and Obviously, I frequent the local cigar bar here, and my aunts, my sister, they're all there, and we have a grand old time. You know, DJ, when I walk in, he kind of sets the stage and plays my favorite song, and we have a grand old time. Now, the one caveat to holidays, we have a huge family. You know, my mom was the oldest of 9, and so I have a lot of cousins. Now I have second cousins. Obviously, some of them have kids, and so the one thing about our family, you can be the favorite, but when you have a kid, it's over with for you. And we got 5 of them, so there are no more gifts for me. There are no more special considerations for old coach because we got to take care of the little ones during Christmas time. But no, that's one of the things that brought me here. Obviously, Prairie View was tough to leave. You know, I tell people that all the time. I mean, I talk to a lot of Prairie View alum after the game, and even got to hang out with some of them, and the love is still there. Right, it really is still there, and I have an affinity for that place and those people. And there was really only one school that I would have left Prairie View for, to be completely honest, and that's FAMU, because I grew up here. I know what this place is capable of, and the opportunity came, and my wife and I jumped on it. You know, but again, coming home to be able to just see my grandma. I got one living grandmother. I get to see her frequently. She comes to games. My oldest daughter, you know, is here, and she's a junior in high school, so I get to see her in her formative high school years. You know, all of those things are reasons why Tallahassee was the perfect place, the perfect time for me to come. You know, and it's been great since we've been here.
That's awesome, Coach.
Coach, I gotta ask you because I was not there. I watched it on television.
Why your head ain't in the screen, bro? Like,
there we go. Can you see me?
He over here looking like Richard Kelly. Like, I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
But I saw what you had on at the game because I wasn't there, but I got to see it on TV. For the people that don't know, I saw you had shotgun across your chest. What's up with that?
Man, you ain't been watching this, man. I've been wearing that hoodie since.
But you was on the national, folks. Hey, look, it's different when you watch it on the SWAC. I'm at a bar, right? They trying to watch the SEC game. I done got into it with everybody in the bar to make sure we put on the SWAC championship game. All right, trying to make sure that we show. They trying to watch Georgia, Alabama. No, man, we finna watch FAMU whoop Prairie View ass. I'm sorry. That's what I'm in here to see. I've been talking all this noise, PV, to put me on the hype video. I want to see what's gonna happen. But you know, the shotgun, a lot of people don't know about it, man. I saw you sporting it for a national audience to see.
Yeah, you know, obviously that's been my football nickname since high school. I played quarterback 20 miles down the road, was blessed to be a highly recruited guy coming out, and our PA announcer, you know, gave me that nickname, I think my sophomore, junior year. And it stuck, you know, it stuck with me in college. It stuck, you know, throughout my arena playing ball days. And once I got into the coaching profession, you know, it kind of stuck around. So now, you know, that's kind of how people around here identify me, Willie Shotgun Simmons. So, you know, I got with my equipment managers who wanted to do something. As you can see, I'm a huge hoodie guy. Crazy thing, the young generation call these jackets now, which I know I'm
no, it's hoodie. It's hoodie all day. You know, I feel my hoodie on.
I'm a huge hoodie guy, and you know, I knew the weather was about to change. So I usually wear the black polo, but I said the weather's about to change. I'm going to start breaking out the hoodie, and just wanted to do something. And so I had them embroider shotgun across the middle of the jersey, or the hoodie on just under the Rattler logo. So it's kind of become catchy. I think everyone asks me how they can get one, but it's one of one.
That's not out there for sale. Somebody can't get him no shotgun.
It's not in mass production. So I tell you, now the only one I can do is my wife. So she got this one made for my son. So he's Shotgun Junior.
Hey, that's dope. Now listen, you cool with now your boy Prime would not approve of that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, you did. I ran it by.
He sells everything. Prime, you know, Prime be on that. Hey, he be hustling, boy. He be like, hey, you know, I'm gonna flip this, do this, Prime everything. You know, Shotgun would have been hot. Everybody would have been right. Probably would have got me one. I ain't gonna hold you. You know what I'm saying? But I feel you. Shotgun Junior, that's tight. Last question before we let you go, Coach. Halftime. Well, Perry got one more probably, but man, this is my halftime. What do you tell your team at halftime to keep that intensity going and during the breaks, during the weather delays and everything like that? What do you tell your team? What does your team do? Do you guys, because I know a lot of fans want to know, what do you do during weather delay? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you go over a play? Do you have them relax, get off their feet? What are just some of the things that you do? So 2-part question. What did you tell them at halftime, and what do you do during weather delays to keep your team engaged?
Well, I'll talk about the delays first. My halftime was a little more candid. But no, so the luxury that we have a very mature football team. There are, I think, 30 guys at least that are playing as seniors, and I think 26 or 7 of them have their degrees already in hand. And so I didn't feel it was necessary to go in and have a one for the Gipper speech and all that kind of stuff. The only thing I told them was, hey, we're going to finish the game. There will be no delay. I mean, there will be no cancellation. There will be no postponing the game. We're going to finish this game today. Whenever we're allowed to go back out there, we're going to finish it. So get your minds prepared when it's time to go back out to finish the game. So whatever you need to do in this time, put your headsets on and take a nap, decompress, whatever you want to do. I mean, we have a no cell phone policy, but that was on time. Pull your phones out, check scores, whatever you needed to do, because we're going to be here for at least 30 minutes. We know every time lightning strikes, that resets the clock for 30 more minutes. So I can't tell you when we're going to go out, but all I can tell you is we're going to go out today. We're going to finish the game. And the guys were able to be mature about it and handle business. As far as the halftime message, we had gotten into a lot of little chippy stuff there right in the second quarter. And I know it's a physical game, obviously. I know it's a championship format and guys are really going to be getting after it. But it got to the point where it was a distraction in the game. Like it kind of got us out of our flow. They were doing some things that our guys were kind of reacting to. And so the halftime message was pretty simple to them. If I see at the second half you're coming out and you're not going back in, we're going to beat them on the field. We don't have to go. I mean, you're playing a team that you beat by 38 and you're allowing them to draw you into chicken fights. So now it's becoming about you and not about the team. Like we're trying to accomplish something that, we worked all year for. So don't make this about you. If a guy pulls your face mask after the play, if he, does other things that, we won't speak on. But, hey, man, tell the ref, tell us, line back up, and do what football allows you to do, and that's whip him the next play. That's the good thing about it. You get to face that guy the next play and do whatever you want to do during that time. So, but, again, it was really good to see the maturity of our football team during really the most adverse game that we've been a part of since we've been here. In 2019, we had the delay. We played A&T on Sunday because of the hurricane, but we've never really had a long lightning delay like we had on Saturday. So really just proud of the guys for how they responded. And it definitely shows that we've come a long way as far as our overall maturity.
So you say you go to the cigar bar and the DJ play your song when you walk in. What song the DJ playing when Willie Simmons? Coach Willie Simmons walk in the building and your boy shouts you out. What he throwing on?
Oh, no doubt. Young Jesus, put on for my city.
Hey, the way the Kanye West version or the original?
The Kanye version.
Yeah.
Hey, because when Kanye come with, I put on.
Now what you do, Coach? You come through there like this, Coach? You come.
Oh yeah, we turn up a little bit.
I like to hear that. Last question I gotta ask: you guys swept the SWAC awards. You got the most guys on the all SWAC team. Isaiah Major, Jeremy Musa, and yourself all win awards. When you look around in that room, how do you build? Where do you go from here? I know you got the Celebration Bowl coming up, but just as a program, knowing that you guys were able to achieve so much and that this program is in that direction of winning championships and guys achieving, you see have guys playing in the NFL. Where does this go?
Well, I'll tell you, so when we start the season, we go over our goals. That's really the last time we talk about it. So we list all of our team goals for that particular season. And they really haven't changed. So obviously it starts with, beat your natural rivals. And so for us, we feel we have 4 natural rivalries. That's obviously that little school down there in Daytona. That's Alabama State because of the proximity. That's Jackson State, which has become a huge rivalry now. And then that's Southern, because obviously that's the only crossover game that we play every year. So those 4 games, you got to win your natural rivals. You got to win the East. Obviously, you can't win the East if you don't do those things. So then it goes to winning the East. Obviously, win the SWAC, which is the next goal. The last goal is win the Celebration Bowl as far as football goes. We do have an APR goal of trying to hit a 950 every year. But we say we want to graduate all of our guys within 4.5 years. So those are kind of long-term goals because that's not going to happen, that year. So you got to kind of track that. But the last goal is build a championship culture. And so that's the challenge, right? It's not about being a one-trick pony. It's not about being a one-hit wonder. It's build a program that every year, everyone knows FAMU's in the conversation. Like the road to the SWAC got to come through Tallahassee, and that's the way we want to make it. And so we lose two phenomenal football players in the conference players of the year, and Jeremy Musa and Isaiah Major. Well, the only way to sustain this level of success is to go out and recruit other really good players to replace those guys, or develop the ones that we have here to step into those roles. And so that's the next phase, right? Finish this thing off this year with the Celebration Bowl. But guess what? Football, really college athletics, it never stops. And so, like I told the staff today, you know, Texas, Washington, Texas, Washington, Michigan, and Alabama, they have the misfortune of playing longer than everyone else. Well, recruiting doesn't stop for those guys because they're playing when everyone else is done playing.
Yeah.
So we're one of the last 10 teams that are playing football right now at the FCS level. We still got to recruit. People are able to host visits. We couldn't bring guys to the game last weekend. We got the Celebration Bowl coming up in 2 weeks on the last major weekend before the early signing period. We can't have official visits that weekend, but we have to continue to recruit to continue to build this program the way that we need to build it. So we're year in and year out, we're in this conversation. So that's the next step. You know, you can never rest in football. People ask all the time, Coach, did you take a breath? Hell no, I didn't take a breath. When am I going to take a breath and relax? A little bit of time in the summer that my wife and I and the kids, we take a vacation in the summertime and we try to decompress before the rat race starts again in late July, early August. But from that time until that following June, you're nonstop with the in-season, recruiting season, and then straight into off-season, conditioning, spring ball, back to recruiting, and then the camp circuit, you know, the summer camp circuit. So it's a nonstop grind in college athletics. So everybody who's playing football now who thinks they want to be a coach, you better understand you don't have any downtime, you know, but that's the way you keep it going. You got to be willing to grind. You got to be willing to put the work in and understand that, hey, everybody's trying to catch you. We're the big dog now. We're at the top of the mountain. So all 11 teams under us are trying to catch what we're doing right now. So that's recruitment, that's, you know, coaching staffs, that's raising money, that's all the things you got to do to build a winning program, because we can't just sit here and pat ourselves on the back. The Southerns of the world, the Jackson States, Alabama States, all those schools, the Prairie Views are gunning for us. And when we start this thing up next year, it's going to be no different.
I got something to build off of what you said, because as you talk about the program and what we're seeing across the college football landscape is the transfer portal. When guys either go to a school that's smaller and excel and can get all conference and get the yards and then say, maybe I can go to a group of 5 or a power 5 school, or you'll get guys who don't really excel on the big level, then they come down to this level, to the FCS, and say, maybe I can get more playing time and become that guy. What is that like in a locker room now, or just athletics as a football coach, to realize, you know, you got a guy that can have a great season and he may leave you. How do I re-recruit that guy to keep him a part of the program? And then how do I go out and find a guy like you did from Nebraska that can come in and be an immediate impact for your team?
That's good.
Well, you know, I think you see now a lot of teams are kind of shifting now to hiring or finding positions such as general managers. They have transfer portal coaches who specifically recruit the portal. And so, you know, you got to change with the times, right? You don't get to make the excuses that, hey, man, if we sign a good high school player, we might lose him if he comes in and makes freshman all conference. Hey, you very well might, you know. So the one thing that we try to do, one, is we try to build a program that has substance to it, you know, the way our guys understand that you have an opportunity here to do something great. You win games, you get a chance to get a degree from one of the top academic institutions, you know, out there. I mean, campus life, you know, Scotty probably can tell you, even in the rain, it's jumping it down. It's jumping in Tallahassee, especially now. When you look at the fact that both programs are right there at the top of the country, I mean, Tallahassee is the place to be. If you're 18, I grew up here, but I'll say it, from 18 to 25, I will put Tallahassee, Florida up against any city in the country. I mean, it goes down in Tallahassee when you got 85,000 college students right here in the city, and they all hang out together. And so, you know, you got a great product to sell. We're finally getting some things together to where we can get some small NIL deals. We're working towards getting some other things that guys can benefit from a financial standpoint. And so you just try to build a program that they see themselves thriving at. If you lose one, like we lost one last year, an all-conference guy, hey, you gotta be able to recruit that. And so if one of our young guys who can transfer leaves to go somewhere else, we'll have that conversation. As a staff, we'll plan for that. And we know we got to replace that position, just like a graduate. We knew Musa had one more year. And so at the end of the day, I would be an idiot if I didn't have a list of quarterbacks that I wanted to bring in and try to replace the conference player of the year. We knew Isaiah Major had one more year. Same thing at linebacker. Same thing at other positions. And so it's all the same thing now. You just have to now consider the fact that, hey, my young guy may leave.
Yeah.
Not just the older guys, my young guy may leave. But at the same time, there are other guys that leave other places that, you have a chance at now. And you can even do it in conference. And so there's some guys in the transfer portal from conference schools that we've offered. It's not taboo anymore. Back in the day, it used to be, man, you take one from a conference school, that's crazy. Well, where would we be right now without Marcus Riley? Coming from right down the road, to that little school down there in Daytona. I mean, where would we be? So we're going to do the same thing. So I'm just telling SWAC Nation now, don't be mad, because we're gonna continue to reload. And a lot of those guys wore jerseys from other SWAC schools last year. So, but we want the best players we can get. And whether that's in conference, Division II, we even have some Division II guys. Same thing. They're all the conference guys at the Division II level. They want to play a high level of football. So FAMU's a destination place for many of those guys now. So you just got to be strategic. You got to have a plan. The portal is real. It's here to stay. The restrictions will get lesser and lesser every year. So, if you can't keep up with the times, you're going to get left behind. And luckily, we have a staff of recruiters who truly understand the portal. They're active. I mean, they're on the phone right now with guys. And I think it's going to allow us to continue to rebuild this roster to stay, at the top of the mountain.
Stay your ass out of Baton Rouge trying to recruit. Don't offer. Hey, LSU, I see you got one of the boys from LSU. If somebody from something, hey, y'all.
Hey, they're Tallahassee guys at other schools in the conference. So, hey, at the end of the day, they it is.
Coach Simmons hit with that Prince.
Hey, give it to me, baby. Give it to me.
Come on.
Hey, we're on the hook with guys from Jackson, Mississippi. We're on the hook with guys from Houston, Texas, from Baton Rouge, from Daytona Beach. I mean, hey, because what? That's the reality of it now. So that's part of the recruiting landscape. But you got to be willing to do it. I think that's where a lot of the younger coaches are now kind of it's trending towards a lot of younger coaches, because you got to be passionate about recruiting. The older you get, the more you're in this thing. Like, you're no longer trying to chase 17, 18-year-olds around and talk to them every day. And I mean, especially on social media, like, it's crazy. You got to DM these jokers every day, call them, talk to their girlfriends. I mean, I guess you're courting. It's like you're courting 25. That's really what it is.
They so baby these days, aren't they?
Well, it's not even about being baby, but it's as men, and we can appreciate. You guys can appreciate that as men. Most of the time throughout our life, we're the hunter.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I had to go get my wife. Like, she, I knew her. We grew up together, but I had to go and I had to shoot my shot.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't come knocking my door down. Most of my friends, same thing, And so in high school, it was that way. As an adult, it's that way. But for that 2-year period, and then now it's really starting earlier because they're starting to recruit a lot earlier. But in that little period, when you hit high school and people figure out that you can throw a football, run real fast, hit real hard, block really well, now you become the person that everyone wants. You become the hunted. Yeah. And that's a feeling that's unique to us. We don't really know how to handle that. Like, people just coming at us, telling us how good we are, telling us how much they need you and how much they want you. And so that's what you're battling. You're battling young men who are being promised the world with many things, right? You're talking about money. You're talking about playing time, jersey numbers, and all the enticements that you can throw out there. And that's the one thing that we, as coaches, we got to kind of be just aware of, that you're dealing with an impressionable group now. Again, my recruit method hadn't changed. I'm still about relationships, always will be. And I may lose some because of that, because I tell them all, you're not coming to FAMU to be rich right now. Like, we're not giving 6-figure NIL deals to anybody. I don't care how talented you are. We don't have that. But you can potentially be rich in a couple of years. Marquise Bell about to secure the bag.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Them boys about to pay him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isaiah Land, keep doing what he's doing. He's gonna secure the bag. So you can get it on the back end. I think now guys are trying to get it on the front end, and it's making it really difficult for the bigger schools to recruit to compete with each other. But yeah, it's definitely a huge part of what we do. And you got to be careful, with the portal. I have a saying to my coaches: they transfer for a reason, right? Everybody transfers for a reason. So it's our job to figure out what that reason is. Can we deal with it? And you don't want to bring a bunch of older guys who are not good for your program. I think you've seen that at some spots, and it's been problematic, So it is a different time, a different era, something that, we're all getting used to. But like I said, the transfer portal is here to stay. NIL is here to stay. And so you can complain about it all you want, but you better get on board and figure out how to mitigate it, or you're going to find yourself on the outside looking in.
Coach, before I let you go, I want to say it's been an honor watching the transition from my time being in the SWAC and seeing it, because, the 2 losses that you took from Jackson, it just seemed like it made FAMU better. Like it didn't ever seem like you guys fell off because of, we had, this great team and we couldn't bounce back with Marquise Bell and Bishop Bonnet and Xavier Smith and Savion. You had all these all-stars and you lose 7-6, and then you come back and you lose 59-3. But it just seemed like you kept this program trending in the right direction with the right mindset to now break through the ceiling. And now you guys are the top of the mountain, still rolling and still having the impact that you have, and still recruiting at a very high level to what your program is. And that's a testament to you and your coaches for having that vision and to keep pushing through. So congratulations to you. And like I said, Willie might meet some new things going down.
What did it mean before? That's the question. What does it mean?
So Willie meant, and perfect example, right? And I know I watched the game, so I know it was a 2-way call. But Willie mean Marcus Riley, not the first one, but the second time, Marcus Riley gets you down to the 1. And then Musa pulls the ball and throws it.
That's not Willie going Willie. That's Moose being Moose. Because I showed Justice behind about that. We're like, bro, what are you doing? Hand the ball off when we walk in.
I'm like, what is this? So Alabama State, right? The game is pretty much out of hand. If you run the ball, there is no field goal. There is no field goal attempt by Alabama State and, Kendall Bowler run the ball. Those are the Willie moments. But, I knew that one. I had to use that one because that was kind of my point. But I knew that was a RPO call and he pulled it and threw it. But, yeah, I was just like, what are we doing? So that's what it goes. But now it means champion. Now it means undefeated. So, you build onto it. You know what I'm saying? Just what
it's definitely, that's the beauty of this thing. That's the fun part of it. Like I say, and I tell Moose all the time, every call, the only bad calls are the ones that don't work. The only good calls are the ones that do work. You've never seen somebody, call a play and the guy was wide open and that was a great call. No, it was a bad call.
Let me say that. The running back pass, a lot of people didn't see it on television because they didn't see. That Bama was wide open. Okay, I want to be very clear because I was walking away from the game and they was like, why Willie call that double reverse? I said, listen, it was open.
They ran the one defense they could have called to stop that. They called it on that play. They called weak side, double edge pressure. And so, because usually the defensive end doesn't chase like that, he kind of stays at the line and then he'll see it and react. And by that time, the ball will get off. One, because Moose will be able to kind of get in his way. But they bought double edge pressure weak, and they hit Marcus right as he was throwing it. But yeah, Nick was wide open.
Wide open.
About to hit it. So yeah, that's the crazy thing about it, man. It's even the darn jump pass. The jump pass.
Oh, that was a great catch. First of all, I'm so glad you brought that up. Whoever was guarding that tight end, freaking genius. Because they never guard that. It's usually never that contested.
Tight end's a bad actor. He's a really bad actor.
Because he was like this. He
just took off running. Like, hey man, bro, everybody knows you come out, you stalk, show your hands, it's a fake run, you got big Jacquez Yant, 245 pounds in the backfield, taking a direct snap. Like everybody in the country thinks he's running the ball. But that's it. When you coach 23-year-olds, man, I'm telling you, like I'm the crazy one because I put my whole livelihood in their hands on a daily basis.
That was a hell of a catch though, because because it started off as a good play. You're like, damn, he's covering it, and he still throws it, and you're like, damn, how that boy catch that? I was like, so you got some man.
It was a hell of a throw too. I tell you what, I told Yant, so you throw it better than you're running right now.
Let me ask you.
Put it in their hands.
Let me ask you this.
Let them play.
For real. Last question. For real.
I got me one for him too.
Oh Lord. Tight ends. I keep telling. I jump on this platform. I say it every week. The SWAC doesn't use tight ends, but week in and week out, you consistently find ways to get them involved. In your opinion, how? Because I've seen some talented. I've seen the guy from Alcorn. He's pretty talented. A couple years ago, Southern had a guy that was pretty talented. Howard. I can't remember his name. He was really talented. But you have improved. Ethan Howard. You having Pruitt and Kamari, and you being able to get them involved in the smallest ways, like with easy curl routes and drag routes that come from the back from underneath the line. How do you continually find the ways to use them in your offense?
Well, one, I think you have to, or you're not going to be able to recruit other ones. So you better find ways to get guys involved, because that's what aside from the NILs, aside from guys really want to know how you're going to feature me and allow my talents to be, put on a big stage. And so the tight ends we're recruiting now, like they want to see how are you going to use me? Yeah. Because a lot of guys don't really see that anymore. Like you look at the NFL and everybody sees Travis Kelce. They see Darren Waller, Zach Ertz, and they see these tight ends having 70 catches, 1,000 yards. So guess what? Now as a tight end, you're no longer talking about being a great blocker. You're trying to be a receiving threat. And so just finding ways. I mean, the one thing that I've kind of come to and evolved as a play caller now, or a coordinator, so to speak, is it's really becoming much like basketball, to where you look at basketball rosters, there are no centers, right? It's positionless basketball. So whether you list it as a power forward, a small forward, or whatever, like it really doesn't matter, because you can very conceivably look up and see 5 guys on the court that are under 6'7" at one time. So now it's about matchups. So how do you match up against all of these small, quick, athletic guys that can shoot the ball? Do you keep your big man in? Now he can't guard anybody. So football's becoming the same thing. So you really want to look for guys that have multiple skill sets. At least that's my philosophy. I want a running back who can, if you're not going to be a big bruising back like a Terrell Jennings or Jacquez Yant, you better be a dynamic guy that can flex out a little bit, win some one-on-one routes against linebackers. If you're not a 6'5", 265-pound tight end that can just maul the defensive end and run the ball behind them, you better be able to flex out and create some mismatches and do some things. So we just try to do a really good job of finding guys with those different skill sets and find ways to get them the ball, and we've been highly successful. Kamari Young has really good ball skills. He catches the ball away from his body and can really do some things in the passing game. Jeremiah Pruitt was a former high school receiver. He's a 6'5", 210-pound receiver that we got, and we put 20 pounds on him and made him a tight end. Kobe Gross, same thing. And so just really trying to take advantage of mismatches. And, I study film a lot. I studied other great teams. And last year, the University of Georgia did a great job. They had
that white boy cold, bro.
They had Brock Bowers, and they had the other big kid too. And so when you the thing is, just like I said in basketball, if teams are going to keep their nickel defense, everybody plays nickel defense now. Everybody plays 5 defensive backs. And so if we come out and we have 2 tight ends on the field, are you going to keep your nickel back in the game? So now you're asking a 5'10", 185-pound guy to hold up in space against a 6'5", 235-pound athlete. So when we throw that bubble screen to Marcus Riley, K-Dot, he ain't got to beat the block of another receiver. He's got to try to beat the block of a tight end. Yeah. And so now you take advantage of those opportunities. Well, they see you doing that, and now they bring a bigger guy in, another linebacker. Well, now you got a linebacker trying to cover a former wide receiver. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't invent that model. The NFL did. So you look at the NFL now, those guys like Shannon Sharp and Jimmy Graham and those guys made that popular. And now that's what the NFL is full of. That's why Alvin Kamara is who he is, Christian McCaffrey, those tight ends I named. I mean, that's what makes the game what it is, being able to be versatile. So I started out as a 10 personnel guy, and now I'm a 12 personnel guy. And I fall in love with the big tight ends, and I think I'll keep it for a while until the game swings in another direction. But just trying to keep our guys happy and get our best players on the field.
Absolutely.
Now I want to ask you this before you get out of here with this. Put your AD hat on for a second, right?
Uh-oh.
Right now, You're one of the best coaches in FCS football. Depending on where you got your team, championship, and a program. You're one of the best coaches in FCS football. When you put your AD hat on, because you have now been in the seat of understanding at HBCUs and multiple, being at Alcorn, being at Prairie View, and now at FAMU, you got South Carolina State, Texas Southern all out there looking for a coach. For you as an AD, what's realistically, what does, and Grambling as well, what does this look like? Because I think a lot of people have this make-believe idea of what black college football is, and that we can just go out there and get this coach, and if he has this name, he can just magically make everything better and not really put in perspective the program, the assistance, the dietetic and nutrition, if you have that strength and conditioning. So if you're an AD, realistically, what does it look like to go out and get an HBCU FCS head football coach?
I see my great friend KJ Black just said setup question.
You may have AD in your future, man, at the rate you
Well,
go.
can I add to that, Coach? What I want to kind of know, just a little tad onto that, is like finding a you, right? They like Ashley took a chance with you at PV. How does another AD find another person like you to kind of get to build a program and get going? What are some of the things they need to be like? From what Ashley saw in you, what are some of the things AD should be looking at for that next up and coming guy?
Well, yeah, and again, that's a very, very great question, and there's no one right answer, right? If everyone knew the secret sauce, then everyone would go be an AD, and they'd all have splash hires, you know. So I will use Ashley Robinson for example, because obviously, you know, I have a great relationship with him. We talk about these type of things all the time. Ashley's willing to take a chance on potential. And I think that's what a lot of athletic directors, decision makers sometimes shy away from, you know, because again, sometimes it is that coordinator who's been highly successful that can run a program now. You know, sometimes it's that great recruiting assistant coach who has a rapport with his players and has shown the ability to go out and recruit players. And so I think just like when we lose coaches, you know, I have to hire coordinators, position coaches, and all those things. And so you kind of develop an idea of what you look for. And now you go out and you create a pool based on those candidates. And so I think every job is different. I don't think Southern, Grambling, Texas Southern, and South Carolina State can all go out and use the same model. I don't think they can all go out and recruit the same guy. Now, I think Chennis Berry checks a lot of the boxes that each of those places needs, and that's why his name is on every list, because he has shown that he can win games. He's shown he can recruit at a high level. He's been in the SWAC. He understands the league. He played in the MEAC, so he understands the league. And so he has a lot of those things that people look for, but each job is still different. Grambling may want somebody that says, hey, you know what? We need to ignite our offense. You know, so if a team is been bad on offense for years and years and there's no excitement behind watching them play, then, hey, they say, hey, we need – and that's what Ashley Robinson saw in me. Ashley said, hey, we have a product here at PB where we've been kind of right there on the friends lines the last couple of years, right around 500, got some really good players on offense. We need an exciting offense to be able to get this thing over the hump. So he said, well, let me go find the hottest coordinator out right now. Well, at the time, I was the hottest coordinator, and he gave me an opportunity. When I left, he kept the same model. Well, let me go get the next hottest coordinator. At the time, it was Eric Dooley. Gave him an opportunity. And so then he went to Jackson and said, hey, let me go out and make the biggest splash hire that anybody can ever think about making and give a guy a job that nobody else would have given a job to, because he has what we need. He understands how to promote himself. He understands how to recruit. And we need an influx of talent here to be able to get Jackson State back where it needs to be. And so I think as an athletic director, you have to talk to your administration. You have to get a pulse from your constituents of what are we lacking? As a fan, what do you want to see? If we can't stop anybody, go get the best defensive coach out there. If we don't have any money, go out and get some money. I will tell you, a lot of coaches now are being hired because of their ability to bring in dollars. It ain't about X and O's. It ain't about recruiting. It's about the ability to bring in money from corporations, from other people. And literally, that's what the athletic director feels the program needs. So they say, we may lose every game for the next 2 or 3 years. But by the time we get rid of this coach, we will have this program where we need it to be, so we go out and get the big coach, right? And so, again, I don't think there's a one right answer. I think you know this situation was perfect for me. Prairie View situation was perfect for me. You know what made the Prairie View situation different for Eric Dooley than Southern. It was great at Prairie View. It worked out. It didn't at Southern. Same league, you know, same footprint. One, it didn't work out, and so I think again every situation is different. But as an athletic director, you gotta really gauge the pulse of what your program needs and go out and identify people who check those boxes.
You're gonna be like Nick Saban. You're gonna bring in all those former coaches that got fired. You're gonna be the rehabilitation program.
The difference between me and Nick Saban. Nick Saban has a long bag that he can offer those coaches. Hey, you come here, you volunteering, homeboy. If you want to come volunteer for the route today, we're more than welcome to have
you. Hey, you know they call Nick Saban the football Jesus Christ. You just go to him.
I'm telling you, it is the rehab factory. Like you go to Saban, you're pretty much guaranteed to get you a bigger job. But no, I think Saban has a formula. He takes chances on guys that you know had a little bit of this in their past or whatever. And so I think that's where we as HBCUs sometimes have kind of gotten away from. The way it's like, hey, if a guy had a mistake, recruiting violation, you know, some type of off the field incident that, you know, tarnishes image or brand or whatever. Like, hey, if he's the most qualified guy, give him a chance. Like that's what we've done for hundreds of years with our students. Some of our students couldn't get in other institutions and, you know, we gave them a chance. And hell, when other schools would have kicked them out of school, we kept them in school and they end up flourishing and becoming, you know, great people later on. So I think that's, if I was talking to any AD counselor, I would say, hey, you know, I think some of our better coaches have, you know, hadn't been always the cookie cutter, whatever, you know what I mean? So I think there's some really, really good coaches out there. So a lot of jobless. And if given the opportunity, I tell you what, this league could really, really take off because there's some guys that I know personally that can coach them during football, that can turn a program around and give you what you want. But you got to get over that initial press conference that some young reporter trying to make his name for himself is going to dig and find a traffic ticket they got 25 years ago and talk about that traffic ticket. So
come on, coach.
That question, then you go on to the how you going to get the program winning. And when they start winning, the rest takes care of itself. And that's why you're looking. I'm not going to call any names at the PWI level, but there's some coaches that have been hired in this cycle. Really?
Bobby Petrino.
I ain't calling any names. I'm not calling any names or any schools.
I like Arkansas. And they actually happy that he back. The whole state is rejoicing that he's back.
Again.
Bama at Auburn. Let's not play these games. And I say it all the time. I say it's funny. PWIs, they win the press battle. They understand, okay, we have to get over this hump. And then once we kind of ride out this hump, then we can make the transition, right? But it's like with black schools and black coaches, you're not given the same leeway. Understandably, black people aren't given the same opportunities. So you have to sometimes be the rehabilitation for some of these coaches to get back on. And listen, I'm not here to say nothing, but Coach Cole has a very listen, man. If you can win at Texas Southern, you're like the last winning guy at Texas Southern, and it was for NCAA compliance issues. He didn't steal money. He didn't sleep with no students. He didn't knock the AD down. Like it's literally compliance violations, which a lot of these schools are already underfunded in the situation and on compliance. So it's like some of that is on him, and then some of that's on the school for not having a compliance thing, and now he's untouchable. Like he got leprosy or something. It's just it's baffling to me. It's just really
it's coach at Prairie View. I think it was a former coach at Prairie View. The same thing happened to Henry Frazier.
He's at Virginia State now, and
winning.
Yeah, but no, there's literally a group of coaches, minority coaches, you know, who kind of have that group that says, hey, you know, we've all had something because we're human, like everybody, I mean, depending on the day of the week. So, and how do we build, and we even use the same model, like how do we create something like that to where we can get some of these good coaches back in the mix, you know, because again, like you said, once you get, I mean, even some players are the same way, you know, they have a mishap at their previous institution, and we gotta jump through all kind of hurdles to get them admitted into school, you know. And so how do we get to that point where we can kind of have a rehabilitation system for our coaches, for our players, that get them back in the fold, get them whatever training they need if they need it. Most of the time it's just a bad moment and a bad situation, and we've all been guilty of that. And get these good coaches, because the players need it, and you know they need good people around. And I think that's something that we dropped the ball on, you know, with a lot of quality young minority coaches that because the reality of it is we're not getting opportunities elsewhere. And so we don't get them with our own people, then you just got a bunch of guys on the street who have a gift for coaching the game of football and developing.
Coach, if you got some guys that got a gift and they pretty talented at coaching football and you think they can run a program, let's talk after the show, because I may know an opening.
What's your finder's fee? I got a high finder's fee.
You know, maybe we can have if you're trying to put one of your boys on and you feel like one of your boys can do a great job. All right. That's all.
I'm just saying I can give you some names. I can give you some names. I can give you some names that I would be afraid to go up against. And
wow!
Like, no, I'm telling you, there's some dynamic guys that I know personally, that I've worked with, been around, seen in action. I mean, can flat out coach football, but because of, you know, one blemish in the past or one whatever the case may be, like Scotty said, man, they're all of a sudden untouchable, and you see guys that don't look like us getting not just good jobs. I mean, they're getting Power 5, $5, $6, $7 million jobs.
Come on.
In the rap sheet as long as you know what. So again, it's just, you know, it's frustrating. It really is frustrating, you know, to see some of my peers, some of my, you know, friends in the profession, guys I respect, that, you know, just, I mean, we can't all be Obama, right? I mean, well, I'll tell you, like, he was perfect. Like, he was the one guy that could be black president of America, because they couldn't find nothing. I'm telling you, they tried everything. I don't think they found out he smoked cigarettes, and they were okay with that. But you know, everything else he had to be perfect. So it ain't many people like that you can't Google their name and find something on their past. And we got to get to that point where we stop being holier than thou and understand that, hey, you know, everybody needs a little bit of grace. And you know, and you see a lot of situations where if given that grace, much like Virginia State with Coach Frazier, who I know and have a great ton of respect for, hey, producing wins, got his chance of producing wins, and all he's done is won everywhere he's been. And so, hey, if you're an AD and you're looking for a winner, guy's a winner. You know what I mean? And there are other guys like him as well. So, but again, that's you know, that's why they pay those ADs the big bucks, because they got to make those tough decisions. But I just, you know, I hope they do consider guys that may not check every last box that you have, but the ones they check are so strong that you may have to overlook that one area that they don't check. And I think that's what the PWIs are doing, maybe a little differently than we are at this point.
Ah, man, that's such a good point. Every time you come on here, Coach, boy, you be out here preaching, boy. I swear, every time you get on here, you be dropping some gems, boy.
I be having one more question for Coach. I got one more question for you.
Y'all on Eastern time. You remember, y'all on Central time. Remember that.
Listen, come on, man. Go ahead, Pete.
I know, that was what I was just playing. That's what I'm saying.
I thought
when
you
he
about
come
to
on
like
here,
that.
I can't help myself. See, Coach,
I
I got one more
be
question.
Like the pastor, be like, I'm closing. I'm closing. You know.
Hey, Perry, you should have saw Scotty, but I mean, Scotty might have been the smoothest, most. I mean, that joke was moving, like he was just moving through places. He'll just pop up somewhere, you wouldn't even know it. I mean, he was like Batman. That joke was like Batman this week, dog. It was so impressive. Like it was amazing. I saw the joke like 4 times. I was like, dang, every time I turn around, but you don't see him come in. You just turn around and he's like there.
He act like he knew the plays in and out.
And then when you turn around again, he's gone. You know how the commissioner always will turn around, we turn back like Batman will be gone. That was Scott. That was Scott. Like, hey.
You looked up, you was calling the play, and Scotty was right there and said something to you.
Smooth criminals, dog.
Hey, listen, when you're public enemy number 1, you can't linger, boy.
I'll tell you what, you weren't public enemy number 1. Jay Walker was in town.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's fair. I'll take number 2. I'm cool with that.
But you haven't been there. You haven't been hard on FAMU like that though. So we don't. Yeah, we don't.
And you know what's going to be so cringe about Jay Walker? Tiffany Green, that FAMU is her alma mater. You going against Howard? Do you know what that's gonna be like listening to the Celebration Bowl of him talking about himself for the next 3 hours?
It's gonna be interesting, and I always record it so I can see the telecast. I'm gonna see how long he stays professional. Because at some point he's gonna go left. I mean, he just can't help himself. It's Fanny versus Howard, and Tiffany's in the booth. And Tiffany, I mean, like she is the greatest, man. She's the greatest. And Jay is just trying to poke every bad known to mankind. And she just sits there and shakes her head at him, man. But it's gonna be. There's only one way to shut Jay Walker up. We got to go and make sure he needs to be the quietest guy in Atlanta come December 16th.
Oh,
yeah, I love it. I love it. Listen, that's gonna be the after. The after, like, you know, what's the score? Oh man! And then she gonna get them back on media day with. That's gonna be what it is right there. That's gonna be what it. Let me.
There you go, Coach. Coach, I
got
one more.
You get me thinking, but he called me back. That was pretty funny. Let me ask you this, Coach. How did it feel? Like, because I know as coaches, you know, it's 24 hours, 48 hours. But when you just think about the 5 years, all the wins, the tough losses, the North Carolina A&T, all that. When you held the trophy and you're standing there with your team and you got your defensive player and the offensive player and you're looking out in the crowd. How did that feel at that moment to be a champion of the conference at FAMU?
I tell you what, man, it's so surreal because in that moment, and it's just my human nature anyway, but I didn't even think about it from my perspective. You know, this is my first conference championship as a head football coach, but I couldn't even think about it. I just panned the field and just to see the fans, the administration, just even when I left and went around the city, I mean, it's just a great feeling. Because again, if you're a Rattler, you kind of know and understand kind of where we've come from and what we've been through and that, you know, endure and some tough times within our program, you know. So just to see, and I told somebody to see even where the season started from. Like the season started on a dark note. Like we had to suspend activity because of the rap video in the shot in the locker room. So before we even started the season, a week before media day, we got some major adversity. And to go from that to holding that trophy up, seeing thousands of fans, and I know people like to poke the bear at us, and they just because we do brag different and we talk so much trash. But you know, if you were Scotty was there, like the atmosphere there in rain and lightning delays, it was it was an amazing atmosphere.
It's hard to beat y'all in brag, man.
Well, you ain't, but that's what I felt, Scott. At the end of the day, like I just felt happy for Rattler Nation, you know, because you know they expected one, but they've rolled with us, man. Like they're a true ride or die, and you know we've been right there. Like that's the one thing about when you've been literally right there. Like we're 23-2 in the last 3 years, and we got one championship to show for it. Like how crazy is that? Like other than the first year in the media, we lost 2 games in conference in the first year. We haven't lost more than 1 game in conference since then. You know, so our conference record is like 47-4 over our time here. And so just to be that close, that many years, 19, we get the job, we get it done on the field, but in true fashion, you know, for us at the time, we self-imposed and we can't go to the Celebration Bowl. And so just all those missed opportunities, 1 point literally in 2021. You know, we all know 2022 started out really, really rough for us. But just to go through the season the way we did, to get the postseason snub, I mean, just all that coming together for that special moment last Saturday, man, was amazing and fitting. It had to be in the likeness, though. They say when the dark clouds gather, they gather.
Hey, I like the connection. Yeah, because listen. I'll tell you this, man. I don't care what nobody says. That attendance number means absolute. If you weren't at the game, you don't understand how electric it was, even in the rain. And that's what for me. I text Josh. He said, "Man, I'm sorry that you really couldn't get the brag experience." I said, "I don't know what you're talking about. It's electric out here." I said, "I love it, man, because this is my thing, and this is how I felt about it. I said, if FSU was playing a championship game, are people not going to show up because it's raining? That's not how that works. So we should not be, oh, it's raining, we shouldn't come. No. I told my wife, she said, I spent $400 at Dick's, got me a North Face jacket, North Face pants. My wife got a North Face jacket, North Face pants. I was like, baby, I'm going to drop you off at the watch party, but I'm going to be out there on the field. I'm going to watch. I came here for the game, and I'm going to get the experience. It was worth every penny, and I enjoyed it. So
that's what he had on when he was sliding around in and out of
Man, no, that joke had on black. I'm telling you, he was Batman, bro. I'm trying to tell you, Scotty was Batman. Like, when because he walked by, I was like, hold up, time out. Is that? The joke rolled up on us at brunch. I'm like, man, like,
listen.
He's a fist rattler. I don't care what y'all say. Scotty's a fist rattler because that joke was slipping all throughout Tallahassee this weekend. Cause he had the time of his life.
I was with my wife. Let's be very clear. I was with my wife, right? So
and she had a rattler hat. She had.
Key was repping. So we went to the Black College Live because Tiffany hit me up and was like, "Hey, you coming through?" I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna come through. I'm gonna check it out, stuff like that." So I'm waiting for my wife, and Willie's leaving from his interview, and I just say, "Hey, what's up, coach?" And he does a double take. He's like, what?
Hell?
Yeah, he's like, oh, Scotty, hey, what's up? I was like, what's up, coach? He said, how long you gonna be in the city? I said, I'm gonna be until Monday. He said, all right, hit me up. So I was like, all right, cool. I leave and being a husband, my wife was like, did you get his number? I was like, damn, no, I didn't. She's like, how you gonna hit him up? I was like, oh, I forgot. I was like, I don't know. She was like, oh, okay, whatever, right? So then we go later. Mr. Campbell and Rocky was like, oh, we was at the field house. And I was like, oh, shoot, I should have went to the field house, but I didn't go. So that Sunday, me, Coach KJ, shout out to Coach KJ, he was like, hey, Scotty, I take my wife to table 23. When you get a chance, take your wife to table 23. I said, oh, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? So I roll up in there. Literally, the next table over is all big money. is Coach Simmons, Ashley Robinson, and Roy. I was like, hey! And they like, oh, Scotty. So literally the next table over. So that's just how it happened, man. It was a great time, man. I really did enjoy myself in Tallahassee. I had an amazing time. Even not being on the field, because I saw Quinn Gray was there. He was there. He dapped me up. He said, damn, they fucking with you about the credentials, Scotty? I said, yeah. He was like, shit, you could have had mine. Yeah. So, but it was just a great environment, man. I dare anybody, if you've never been to a Bragg game, go. It's just different. It's not, if I'm being honest, it's not really even about the tailgating, because a lot of spots are about tailgating. FAMU they got tailgating, but it's really about the game. Like, that's where the experience really comes in at Bragg, and what makes it different is the involvement in the game. And I just absolutely love it. But Coach, man, I appreciate your time. You always come through, always willing. Hope we can get you on before the Celebration Bowl, or if we can't, definitely after you win it.
Hey, you know me, man. Just let me know. We're leaving. We'll get there next Wednesday, and we'll be in Atlanta to the game. So if there's some time next week, early in the week, that's fine. But again, man, just appreciate what you guys do, man. You guys do a great job, and it's it needs to be said, the things you guys say a lot of times. So I'm always I'm a friend now. Like I said, when you break bread, you're officially family. So we broke bread with Scotty, and but again, man, I appreciate you, brother, and you're always welcome here on the House of Seven Hills. And Perry, even though I know you're a Southernite, you're always welcome here too, man. We'll show you how we do it here on the House of Seven Hills. And you don't even come when they come to us, do you?
Yeah, I've been there. I came the year when y'all gave my boy Skelton a tough time back there, man. I was out there, and I had we broke y'all stadium attendance record. Yeah, but I had a good time. I say this. I did not realize, and that was one of the most memorable games, because when I go on the road, I look at what the fans of other teams, what they do for the tailgate, just the atmosphere, where they talk noise, are they engaging? Listen, FAMU, and then when I got to Bragg and saw how the fans set up on you, right? The student section, the band, the ref don't tell y'all band to stop playing, but he'll tell the other band.
One time.
I'm talking about band just letting it go all throughout the game. Don't say nothing to y'all. Yeah, that's it.
He played it all game.
The whole game.
They can play
on the ledge, talking to the players. That's why I say, if you're a visiting team, you better come locked in, focused. It's a lot of distraction. Y'all had thick 36. I mean, y'all got a lot of damn weapons at FAMU.
20 games, baby. 20 games for longest in the nation. Longest in the nation.
And how they got it set up at the stadium, I said it on the after game. You gotta respect it because they put the opposite band all the way at the corner, so you ain't got no chance that your team can't get hype off nothing you playing because you can't hear them, right? And then they got this right behind you.
All game.
Then you got a student section talking about you can't do that. After they like basketball, like you're like you can't guard him. I'm like, yo, and then when they score, they do the little all the route. No, it's different, man. It's just I
saw it personally. That's when I walked away. I said, bro, if you got to go to brag, bro, you just better come laser. Like you can't look at nothing around you. You can't have no ears because it's too distracting, man. And y'all make it a tough place to play.
True home field.
That's what it's about. People are like, your coach, y'all going back to because when I got here, the FAMU was on the east side. The home team was on the east side, and they put the visiting team on the west side. So we won't cross coming out. But I was like, nah. We're gonna go on that press box side. We're gonna put that visiting team over there behind that band because the 100 ain't playing games with them. So and then, at homecoming, it's the 100. There's the alumni band on the opposite side of them. So
it's two bands.
We got the alumni band.
You can't. How do you even focus as a coach with them playing the whole damn game back and forth?
Man, I grew up in Bragg. Man, I'm immune to it.
You love every minute of it.
Yeah, if you notice, you watch me like. My halftime speeds are quick. I come out and watch 100, dog.
And listen, I'll tell you, that's the only time they actually won a battle because that day they was them piccolos were piccoloing. Yeah, on Saturday.
Wait, did you see the font of the way they spelled the SWAC?
It still was fire though. I know
while we were moving, man. They was in the formation.
It was a hard trend. Like people don't like you gotta understand if you watch the show, it was a hard transition. That's what made it dope because they were like running around and then boom, they just made it. And you're like, oh shoot, that's the star with the SWAC. Oh, okay. It was cool. But listen, I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna keep saying this. This is the only performance of FAMU I was like, oh, that's fire. But when them Bamas be flipping the cape, I can't get with that. When they be like, they be flipping that cape.
Why you gotta use that sound with it? What's the sound again?
That's when they flip that thing, and I be like, and then they do the little footsie two-step thing. I mean, what is like they going through a ladder drill? I'm like, what is this, man? That's
the rattler way they say.
That's the only thing I can't get with. But when they line up around that stadium and they rush that field, that's different, man. It's different. I ain't gonna lie. It was
hey, you cool. Do you got a Kofi shirt?
Yeah, no, we got plenty. We got plenty. If you need one,
you gotta send Coach a Kofi shirt.
I got him.
Hey man, Kofi trained my kids with tennis, bro. Like Kofi's my dude, man.
Okay.
Yeah, Kofi was my kid's tennis trainer before he passed. So we talked all the time, man. Great dude, and I was devastated like everybody else when I heard the news. So we definitely, hey, that's why we're running the ball this year. Kofi gets man, you better run that football. Kofi was always on that. We got to run the ball. So I made sure that we committed to run the football this year, man. That's a shout out to Kofi.
Shout out to him. Kofi. Hey man, Coach, once again, Willie Simmons, we appreciate the time. Keep doing what you're doing. Listen, if you got any sway, for me to get in media day next year, I mean, if you're still there, you might be gone. We know, you about to be big money, big timing. But you know what I'm saying? But if you're still there, just put a word in for your boy,
Hey, but this media thing is rough. I never knew that you could be denied media passes when you're a media personality. So that was new to me. When they said I said, well, Scotty is
you're gonna have to impersonate him as either a player or a coach with his SWAC.
Working style, working.
We gotta put him on a polo. We gotta give him a polo.
Yeah. Listen,
and a visor. Give him one of your visors. You gotta throw him one of the visors.
I volunteer. I watch film. I study film. You like he part of the video coordinator.
He with me.
Yeah, he will be.
We're gonna get it right, man. We need you around, man. It's good content, man. We appreciate you.
Nah, we appreciate you, Coach. Hey, enjoy your time, man. I know your team's gonna be ready for the Celebration Bowl. Can't wait to see it.
No doubt, man. Y'all be easy, brother.
Congratulations.
Hey, that's Coach Willie Simmons. You already know what it is. Shotgun. You already know what it is, man. Big time. Man, I love talking to Coach Willie Simmons. Every time we talk, he always be dropping some next level knowledge. I really appreciate it. He's
I got one more question for you. Get you out of here. Just one more. I can't help it. It's just like, he's going to conversate with you.
Yeah. And it's just a great feeling. It's just a great feeling, man. I absolutely love it.
Something I want to say, I saw before we got started, Mr. Campbell was he cracked a little joke on me because he saw my cash app on my name right here. I got it on there, man. My birthday coming up, everybody.
Hey!
My birthday is December the 10th, so that's why I got it right there. If y'all just want to send me $1 or buy me a drink or help me get some paper plates, I don't care, man. Whatever. The paper plates or something, just whatever's in your heart, Oh, you like that?
I've never heard nobody say, "Let me get some paper plates."
Let me get some paper plates or something, man. It's all good, I thoroughly appreciate. Come on, Scott.
I just never heard nobody say paper plates. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, just something, I appreciate it, man. Old birthday drink or something. My birthday, December the 10th.
He said we give you a 0.
That's what I'm saying. Come on, man. Help me out. Something, however y'all want to do it. It's right there. I appreciate it.
Oh, my gosh. That was funny, boy. Oh, that man said, help me get some paper plates.
So, $1,
Oh, man, absolutely. All right, let's get back to a little bit hot and viral. Shout out to Coach Willie Simmons again for coming through. All right, P, listen. We know you are an SEC guy. We know you follow college football in deeply, very deeply. You've seen the college football landscape. You've seen the committee's choices. Did Florida State get cheated?
Me personally, I think they did. I don't like this landscape of a world that we live in on what else because of what somebody else did last year when it was their opportunity, right? And what you continuously heard is people saying because of the showing that TCU had last year by making it to the college football championship, the fact that they got blew out, that maybe they didn't deserve to be there. How are you going to fault a team this year for what a whole nother team did last year because you want to put them in this same category to think that maybe they're not the 4th or the 3rd best team in the nation? And for me, I think to see that Alabama and Texas both respectfully, Texas was ranked number 7 last week. Alabama was at number 8. Florida State was right there in the thick of things with this conversation and completely got leaked. Now, because they lose their quarterback, that's okay, right? Jordan Travis. But for me, I just thought that was, and if anything, if I'm going to look at this, I would have had to choose between Texas and Alabama get left out. Florida State makes it in. The conversation would have been looking at Texas and Alabama. I didn't think Texas nor Alabama should have jumped Florida State to be able to get into the college football playoff. Florida State did everything they were supposed to do, and you can't fault them because of the idea of what you think could happen or may be happening. You got to give them an opportunity. When a team goes undefeated, who are you to say they can and can't win? We've seen this in the past with the programs like a Boise State, right? Boise State goes in the Fiesta Bowl and upsets Oklahoma. It's not a national championship game, but you thought Boise State, because they were in a group of 5 conference, that they were completely mismatched. We saw Tulane last year in the Cotton Bowl beat USC in the Heisman Trophy winner Caleb Williams, right? You can't assume just going by what you think is going to be the best name to win and that can compete, that's going to happen. You got to give them their just due day in court. And I think Florida State got robbed of theirs. Florida State deserved to be in there to showcase, even without a quarterback, they have won games. It don't matter how they win them. The name of the game is winning. And when you have a team that's undefeated, it is completely preposterous for me to say that you're going to leave them out and put 2 teams that were both 7th and 8th far below in here, and then to even leave out Georgia.
Yeah.
Who's to say Florida and Texas deserve this? Because Georgia was at the number 1 spot. So let's just go back a couple weeks, right? Ohio State and Michigan were 2 and 3 coming into that game. Ohio State lose that game in the very next week before we get to the college football playoff, the college conference championships. Ohio State was still in the mix. They only dropped them down to the 5th spot. So because they were at that 2-3 and you dropped them down to the 5th spot, clearly that loss being close against an opponent like Michigan meant something for them not to drop that many spots.
Yeah.
Georgia, number 1. If Georgia loses a close game, which they did 27-24 to Alabama, then Georgia still being the 2-time defending champion with that one close loss against a formidable opponent still probably should have been in the conversation of a playoff. And to look at Alabama and Texas, Georgia could have that argument to be right in there with Florida State. You know, so you had all of these different scenarios, but I think Georgia got snubbed. And for sure, for me, even though they lost to Alabama, for me, for sure, Florida State got snubbed.
I agree with you. I think Florida State got snubbed. I think there's no scenario where Texas is not in, because you can't leave Texas out, them beating the SEC champion, right? You can't leave them out. It just is what it is. They beat Alabama head-to-head on the road and beat them handedly. So there's no way possible. My issue is this. The committee has no problem leaving any other conference out, but when it comes to the SEC, somehow they always get a way to get in or have more than one team. Always. It always seems to work that way. And for my thing is this. Alabama has not played good football. Yes, they beat Georgia. It took a 4th and 31 for them to beat a 6-6 Auburn team. So let's not act, and they played South Florida back. I mean, like, they have not, they found ways to win, but they haven't been a very dominant team. Go ahead.
I was going to say, let's just look at the last 5 games of Bama, Texas, Georgia, and Florida State. Bama, of course, 12-1, went 8-0 conference play. 27-24 against Georgia. 27-24 against Auburn. 66-10 against Chattanooga, Tennessee Chattanooga. 49-21 over Kentucky and a 42-21 win over LSU. You look at Texas in that last 5 span. A 49-21 victory Saturday against Oklahoma State in the Big 12 championship. Against Texas Tech, 57-7. Against Iowa State, 26-16. Against TCU, 29-26. The very team that they complained about struggling last year in the national championship. And then against Kansas State, it took an overtime 33-30 victory. Look at Georgia in their last 5 games going 12-1. A 3-point loss to Alabama Saturday, 27-24. A 31-23 victory against Georgia Tech. 38-10 convincing victory over Tennessee. 52-17 convincing victory over Ole Miss. And a 30-21 victory over Mizzou. Mizzou, Ole Miss, and Tennessee are all teams that you have to look at and say are powerful teams as you play against them. And then you look at Florida State, undefeated, no blemishes on their record. 16-6 victory in the ACC Conference Championship against Louisville. 24-15 victory against Florida, which was really tough for them in that rivalry game. 58-13 against North Alabama, 27-20 over Miami, and a 24-7 victory over Pittsburgh. Now you look at these teams. Texas, best win on the season against Alabama. Their worst loss is against Oklahoma. Of course, that was their only loss. Yeah. They were ranked 7th last week. You look at Alabama. Their best win on the season, of course, was this past Saturday, beating the number 1 team in the nation. But their worst loss was against the team right there in front of them in Texas. Then you look at Florida State, whose best win on the season was against basically LSU, who was number 5 at the time to start the season. Then you look at Georgia. Their best win on the season was against Ole Miss, and their worst loss was against Bama. You start to stack those teams up. Does Florida State really get overlooked in that situation? And does Georgia deserve to fall that far from number 1, even in a close game against a team that obviously they put a lot of respect on in Alabama?
I just feel like with the way the SEC championship, okay, it's a very conundrum. You can't leave Alabama out because they are a champion and you have 3 other champions in this bowl process, right? So if anything, if you wanted to put Georgia at number 4, I wouldn't have a problem with it. I really wouldn't have, right? But you put Alabama because they're champions. So okay, that's cool. But then you leave Florida State out of it, but they're a champion. So to me, it's like you value, I don't care about the Jordan Travis thing. You can say whatever you want to say. To put that on one player is absolutely asinine. It's asinine to me that you would just say you're the reason why your team isn't going to the college football playoff.
Think about the mental state of that,
Come
Scotty.
on, man, that's tough.
Mental illness that now this kid is going to have to live with the feel like he let his team down. And he made a tweet saying, maybe I should have broke my leg in September so my team will have a chance right now.
All right, you got Blue. Blue says, here all I say, Bama struggled with Auburn, who got their head beat in by New Mexico State and needed a miracle to win. That was Bama fully healthy and not a third-string QB. That's simple.
Fine. But, Bama, you lost the game regardless of the fact that Florida State did not. I still got to roll with that. Now, the argument for that fourth spot could have been anybody, right?
Yeah.
It could have been Alabama. It could have been Georgia. It could have been Texas. Hell, you can quietly say it could have been Ohio State as well, since they were ranked so high in the season just because they didn't play a conference championship. But nonetheless, 2-1 losses should not have trumped Florida State for getting this opportunity. And what this says, Scotty, and what really makes it nervous for the entire – and we won't have this issue no more, right? Because next year you move into the 12-team playoff. But what this says is the way that they look at college football, it is so political that it don't matter who you are. If you're not a name brand and you go undefeated, they're not going to give you an opportunity because guess what? They're going to already write you off as though you don't deserve to be there.
Yeah.
How do you deserve to be there? You got to have a name brand that's Michigan, Alabama, Texas. To be honest, they really don't want Washington in there.
They don't, but you couldn't leave them out because of how dominant they had been all year. Let me ask you this, because this was brought up on ESPN First Take. Me and Mr. Campbell talked about it. If Deion Sanders is coaching at Florida State, are they in?
And if Florida State in the situation that they're in now?
Same exact situation, but Deion's the head coach. Shador's out. Are they in?
Yeah, they are, because once again, they're clearly going by what the product and the brand is right now. They felt like Bama and Texas brands seem to be better when it comes to this than Florida State, because that can clearly be the only thing. That's what they use the word malarkey. I ain't gonna cuss, but that's malarkey, man. The fact that you're gonna leave them out because the argument is they don't want to make the mistake like they did last year with TCU. But how could you say that? TCU won that semifinal game, didn't it?
Demolished Michigan.
It was just a bad day against Georgia. Georgia was really just that damn good. I don't think Michigan would have had a fair chance against them either. You cannot take somebody's production in a game that probably was just a bad game for them, unfortunately, and then hold that against the team next year and then try to use that same analogy and say, well, we just don't want to put ourselves in that position because they lost their quarterback. What about everybody else on the team? You don't like the fact that they winning by defense? Last I heard, defense wins championships, but you know what? Offense sells the tickets. So clearly, that's why Florida State not in. They don't have the offense, and they understand excitement and offense sells the ticket. They're not giving a damn about Florida State's defense. Can Florida State sell the tickets offensively by having explosive plays and getting everybody to watch? And they felt like no.
I'll tell you this, and I said Mr. Campbell talked about it, and he said you're making Mike Norvell's point. If people get to, if everybody in this chat can say, Scotty, yes, Deion, if Deion was coaching Florida State, they're in. That means you're making Mike Norvell's point is that my team is good enough. You just wanted the eyeballs. You know, if Mike Norvell takes a Jordan Travis-less team to Florida State, nobody is going to want to watch that game. But you know, if Deion is leading that team, people are going to watch regardless because of his brand. And what I also told Mr. Campbell is, you don't want to deal with the backlash of leaving Deion out of the playoffs with a 13-0 team.
Because you'll get a black man.
That, and he's going to be on everything. Good Morning America. He's going to be on Time. He's going to be on ESPN, Undisputed. He's going to be on Oprah. She's going to do a special. It's going to be crazy because he's going to go on everybody's platform talking about, I can't believe they doing this to me. So I feel it's messed up. I'm going to keep saying it. The College Football Playoff Committee has never had a problem leaving any other conference out except the SEC. And I think that, to me, is where I'm like, that's messed up. But going forward with the 12 teams, hey, everybody going to get in and the chips fall where they may.
You know what's going to be crazy with the 12 teams are now, because now you're going to have the super conferences next year, right? Oregon, USC going over to the Big Ten. That's going to increase their footprint of what they're doing. You look at now Texas and Oklahoma coming to the SEC. Obviously, it means nothing to be in the ACC, and I think the only reason it means nothing is because Clemson is down.
Yeah.
Florida State needs Clemson to be good or Notre Dame to be good in order for the ACC. And the ACC needs Florida State. They need Clemson and Notre Dame for the brands. And then you can sprinkle in a Louisville, but they also need Miami. But when you have a conference that's obviously where it is getting overlooked right now, what's going to happen when the Big Ten and the SEC expand next year? And although you go to this field of 12, is it damn near going to be a field of 12 where you're going to have about 9 teams simply from the Big Ten and the SEC and maybe a group of 5 team who can slip in like a Liberty right now, who's having a big bowl game? I think they got to go. I forgot who Liberty has to play, but it's not looking good for them. I think it's Oregon, right? Then you'll have a Florida State, right? So you got them in a situation where it just seemed like with these super conferences, they're going to really take over the college football playoffs. And when you even got a James Madison, the Liberties, the smaller teams that can go undefeated but may not be playing these, tough strength of schedule games, it's going to leave them out. Then when they have those seasons, when they say we're 12-0, and then you'll fool around and put in an 8-3 Big Ten team. Yeah.
Because you value the schedule of what they've done or their brand over a smaller school's brand.
Not even give them an opportunity because smaller schools can catch you slipping. I said it last year, Tulane over USC. Nobody saw that happening.
There are 2 participants in the conference.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
All participants are muted.
I just think they try to act like this thing is for everybody to compete. Imagine if you had a state championship and you had a team that was undefeated and then 2 teams with 1 loss is playing for the championship and you left out because they say you didn't play this one other team more than what they did. That's heartbreaking. I just feel for the kids, man, those seniors who wanted to go out on top and did everything they asked of them to do, who they gave they all. I feel for the kid, Jordan Travis, the fact that his psyche has to be messed up because for him to put out a tweet to say, maybe I wish I should have broke my leg in September so my teammate, that means now they're put that on him to say, they didn't make it because of you, bro. And once again, it goes back to what I said. Defense wins championships. Florida State has that, but we know offense sells the tickets. And with Jordan Travis out and the fact that you saw them running Wildcat down to their 3rd string quarterbacks, they felt like the tickets were not going to sell and they simply left them out. Texas and Alabama's offenses right now, along with you see from Michigan and Washington State, seem to be rolling. That's what seems what's going to sell the ticket because it should be exciting football for big plays offensively that people want to see. People hate watching defensive games, right?
Yep. I love it. I mean, but I get it.
But the vast majority, ain't nobody trying to see a 9-6 game, a 6-0 game, a 6-3 game. And I think they thought about them was like, yeah, we're going to lose, folks.
Yeah, we good on that. Yeah, we good on that. All right, let me take a couple callers. Mr. DeGratier, coming to you.
Hey, Scotty, thank you so much, man. This was an amazing show. I am a family Rattler, and I was so happy to see Coach Simmons on here again. I'm not sure what magic you got to get Coach Simmons on here, but Coach Simmons on the Offscript show is fire. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for having that. The 2 of you as hosts, which Coach Simmons as a guest is an amazing show. Thanks for that. It's really great. Man, I want to talk to some of the things that y'all were bringing up and talk about the Celebration Bowl that's coming up in Atlanta. Man, it's going to be an amazing game. It's going to be fire here. My son is jumping up on the chair because he wants to talk. You want to say anything?
Yeah, let him go.
He said no. Yeah, he said no. He's just here to listen. No, glad you were at the game with us in Tallahassee this past weekend. I did a turn and burn. We were in the rain, and happy to hear that you were down there. And I just want to say this to everybody who's watching the show. There's so many things I want to talk about, but this is what I want to say to people on the show, that Scotty, Offscript is the voice of the SWAC. I don't know what we can do Offscript. Scotty, let us know what we can do to help elevate you more, because we want you to be the voice of the things that you're doing. We all appreciate that. And Coach seems like he appreciates that too. So, hey, keep doing what you're doing. Perry, Offscript, y'all hold it down. I'm out. I will see y'all I will see y'all, the FAMU Rattlers, the M100 at the Celebration Bowl in 2 weeks in the A. Yes, sir.
Shout out to y'all, man.
Did you hear? He said in the A.
In the A, you can catch it in the A. I'm on it. Woo, I'm on it. 4620 coming to you. I call you live.
Hello, Scott, it's Wake.
What's up, Wake? Talk to me.
Hey, man, so with the playoffs, I never saw it as a true competition. TNT Network used to have a saying that we love drama. I think the NCAA, the playoff boys, they are doing this on purpose because they got everybody talking about it. It's full of drama. It's about entertainment. That's how I see that. It's going to carry over. Every year you expect some kind of drama to happen. That's my whole scope on that thing. Now, you know, I've told you a couple of times, and this is happy birthday to Mr. Perry over there.
Thank you.
I told you, I'll send you a few bucks for Perry to get a microphone for that phone he's using over there.
He did say that. Yeah, he did say that.
I hook him up. I give him a microphone and a smartphone and get him more outspoken to match up to the quality that you on.
Hey, see, that's what I'm saying. Us black folks, we gotta stick together, brother.
So,
us black folks gotta stick together. We gotta invest in each other. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, just let me know. I'll shoot it to you.
You see the cash out.
I like what y'all doing.
Hey, no problem, Wake.
Thanks,
hey,
man.
I'll get Perry's address and you can send it to him.
All right, cool. All right, bet.
Hey, no problem. Appreciate you. I don't know who I want to go to first, Mr. Campbell or Rocky. They both are talkers. Rocky, I'm gonna go to you last because you be talking.
Now go to Rocky. Because Mr. Campbell gonna gloat.
Hey man, I just wanted to say to the people at FAMU, Bragg Stadium, it was a great experience, even though I wasn't there for about an hour, because it got a little too moist for me out there. But we had and I didn't have any rain gear. I didn't think about going to ditch. We had a cozy situation set up by Mr. Campbell, and so we had an alternative plan that didn't include us wearing rain gear. But man, it was a great time. I had a great time in Tallahassee. You know, Dr. D and Mr. Campbell, they're great guys. We had an amazing road trip, man. It was super dope. It was great to meet you in person, Scotty.
You too, Rock.
We had a great time with you and Key, man. It was everything that I thought it would be, man. And you know, I just want to say, man, if I'm gonna tell y'all, if y'all want Scotty to be the voice of the SWAC, then y'all gotta support, man. The way y'all do it is hit that membership button, right, and make sure that y'all card got the available balance on it each and every month. You know what I mean? That's how you make sure that way he can do the traveling, he can invest the time. He at the point now, he really probably ought to be able to have him a staff or something like that. Y'all gotta support, man, because real support ain't just coming on here watching the show. Real support is putting your money where your true support is. If you want him to succeed, if you want him to be successful, you gotta support, and you do that by super chats, membership, and donations. Because he ain't charging you nothing, man. So that's the last thing. But this is what I want to say about the playoffs, right? Mr. Campbell, we figured this out. Me and Mr. Campbell figured this out over some cocktails Saturday night. We pretty much knew that they wasn't gonna leave the SEC out, right? And if it's one team they were gonna leave out of it, they were gonna leave Florida State out. And he was able to tell some guys from Tallahassee that night. He delivered the bad news before Sunday at noon, because he told them Florida State's out of there. They not gonna have this tournament without the SEC. He said that there would be a riot if they left the SEC out of the college football playoffs. And I kind of agree. And at the end of the day, it's a TV show, guys. It's a TV show. You can't have a college football playoff without Alabama or the SEC champion. I don't see how you can do it. You in the footprint, Perry. Would the people in your area look at it as a legitimate playoff without an SEC team?
No, they wouldn't.
That's my point, man. Hey, man, but y'all, hey, I'm going to go ahead and let Mr. Campbell get on there, man.
Appreciate you, Rob.
Doing, Scotty and Perry, man. Y'all doing a great job. Perry, I'm going to send you a little something. As soon as my check come in, I'm going to send you a little something on your birthday, man.
I appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Appreciate you, Rob. Hey, man, this is B Key, the wife, Mr. D, Rocky, Mr. Campbell, man. We was out there chilling, man. Having a good time at BJ's. They made me mad. They didn't have that monkey bread pizookie. I love that monkey bread pizookie. They was like, oh, it's seasonal. Season on my ass. Need to have it all year round. But shout out to them, man. We had a great time.
Before we do something, shout out to my Southern Jaguar basketball team, the men's basketball team, going on the road at Mississippi State, number 21 Mississippi State last night, and walking out of there with the dub. That's what y'all see that beautiful stuff right there. That's something to build off of. I already got a victory over UNLV, and then able to get this our first year head coach, man. Look, we're just trying to build something here. That 2-6. You know, I want that by the time we get to conference play, that there's some respect on this team. But Jackson State getting it done too, going out beat Arkansas State. Black college basketball, as you're starting to see, I'm not going to say close the gap, but you definitely see us taking a leap forward. And know what that helps? It helps that RPI at the end of the year for whoever's that conference champ, that when you win the tournament and you get ready to go into the NCAA basketball tournament, the more victories we get like that as a conference and boost our RPI, you no longer have to go worry about playing in that first 4 in, right? Of 2 16 seeds, having to battle for that one spot to then go ultimately get the 16 seed to play a 1 seed. Maybe if the RPI is built, you can see a SWAC team with a 15, 14, 13 seed, maybe lower than that, but that's what matters when you start bringing on those type of victories, especially against a ranked opponent, what that does for the conference as we build up to try to boost and get out of that first 4 game, man. That first 4 would be tough to watch.
It does. But man, that's huge victory. Mr. Campbell, coming to you.
Okay, I got to start off with this. I got to do with the young folks, though, as you say. Now, Rocky, this is a family show. And I'm about to say, hey, yo, and pause, bro. You cannot use Moist and Dix in the same conversation, bro. You can't do that. Can't do this. It's a family show. Don't do that no more, bro. Cannot do that. Moist, no. That got me nervous. But we can't do that no more. Okay? So pause on that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Put that together. I got nervous. Now, next thing. Now, Perry, I'm not here tonight because, I knew you guys had to do the recap. But there will be the official Rattler takeover next Monday. So I want you to be very clear from the start of the show, because I'm already making phone calls to bring many Rattler superstars to be guests on this show. I mean, working to try to get 36 to come on the show. So we are working hard on that. I'm just telling you that. So Monday, we're going to really do a big. Now, here's my thing really quickly. Coach KJ Black, I'm looking for you.
Hey, that's why I said let him go last, Scotty.
Coach KJ Black, I'm looking for you, brother.
No, say it the right way. Come on. You need the pass, Mr. Campbell.
Need to. If I need to send the link, you need to run me my money.
Run me my money.
Family Athletic Fund. And screenshot it. So, because we need verification that you sent $100 to our FAMU Athletic Fund, so I can also put in an alumni group, because I think I've raised at least $1,000 for FAMU Athletics. Easy money. So KJ Black, I'm looking for. I know I seen you in the chat. Now you out there on the West Coast. I don't want nothing about you no me, so you forgot about it. Scotty got your number. I need for you to get my number, Scotty. Screenshot me the donation to the Rattlers, so I can put in our alumni group. Because that's just I told y'all I was not worried about it. I told I was giving 200. I wasn't even worried about it.
You did a 2-for-1 bet. That was big time.
That was it. So I'm just letting y'all know. So that is the thing. So again, let me say it one more time for Perry. KJ Black, I'm looking for you, brother.
Oh, brother. I thought you was going to get me. That was going to send me up right there.
Bro, listen. Perry, Perry, I gotta apologize. I just realized you said it's your birthday today.
No, my birthday's coming up this week. Next time I see you guys,
I was wondering why you had your cash out like you was doing Salvation Army donations and stuff. And I was like, now Perry never had his cash out on his handle, so I wanted to make sure. So this is for your birthday. This is what we doing?
Yeah, this ain't me standing outside of Walmart behind with the Christmas tree, ringing the bell.
Bro, you look like Salvation Army. When I saw the lights and all we needed was that big barrel and stuff like that. So that's why I was just trying to make sure.
Man, have some holiday kids, man. Don't be the Grinch.
Okay, all right. I'll co-sign that for your birthday because I didn't know if you was out here Salvation Army like that.
No, don't be the Grinch this year. Don't sound like the Grinch, Mr. Campbell.
Yeah. We'll get you together. But no, like I say, so that's it. And let me just say one thing to these people. Hell no, FAMU is not doing no kumbaya joint parade with Florida State. Point blank, period. We ain't doing it. Don't ask us to do it because we don't want conference championships and Florida State won conference. Ain't nobody never asked us to do nothing. Now, because they feelings is hurt, now they want to ride the rattle bandwagon. Hell no.
I think that's over your page right there, Mr. Campbell. That one right there, you ain't gonna have no say-so in that one. If Florida State beat Georgia,
listen. And if I'm telling you anything about no say-so, I'm telling you what I know for the family. The Marching 100 is not going out there marching with the March of Chiefs. I'm telling you that right now. That ain't happening.
The city gonna celebrate.
That ain't happening.
The city gonna celebrate. The city not gonna celebrate.
What are we celebrating with Florida State for? What?
He said, "What we celebrating with?" Oh, here we go. He said, "We say." I'm gonna take as long as Scotty did to put on my back. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
See?
That ain't got nothing.
See, this is the reason why y'all wonder. See, you can't trust them 10 fans for Prairie View. Now, this is a SWAC Conference Player of the Year. Coach at FAMU, and now he don't want to run me more. Now he want to say my money. Let's talk about the money in the mail. Now he going, the money in the mail.
Cash on delivery.
You call somebody, man, like the bill collector. Oh, yeah, we put that in the mail last week. Man, listen, hey, KJ Black, we need that to be on the books for 2023. We don't need that to be 2024 now. Now, come on now. Like I say, run us our money. You know what I'm saying? Because that T-shirt ain't got nothing to do. Because, see, here's the difference between Amazon and you. See, we know you got to check that come. And we know you got a Cash App and a credit card, one or the other. So we take all of that. We take Cash App, we take credit cards, we take PayPal. If you got any problems sending that money, I got an iWeave account. I will set up a whole website just for you to pay us our money. I will set up a link and send it to you. So whatever you need. And you can order a wig too. So whatever you need, bro, I got you.
Mr. Campbell sounding like Salvation Army right now, ain't it? Ringing his bell.
Listen, Perry, now Perry, you were working hard because you and Scotty were doing a great job with the questions with Coach. But I'm starting the Willie Simmons Stay at FAMU campaign, wigs for Willie. So 10% of every wig here going forward is going to go to Coach Willie to stay at FAMU.
Wigs for Willie?
And I'm just going to leave it at that. So we are starting the Wigs for Willie campaign, NIL deal to keep our coach.
Lord have mercy.
So we don't care what kind of wig you wear. Anyone that you buy, we're going to put some money in Coach Willie Simmons' pocket. We don't need to have, because Scotty, now one thing about FAMU, we're not going to make no videos talking about everything going to be all right, and we're not going to have no mass meeting with 5,000 people either. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep it stepping. That's one thing about us. We're not making no videos. So that's the thing. So, hey, wigs for Willie.
Hey, appreciate the call, Mr. Gamble. Hey, KJ Black, I'm gonna need you to run that money, bro. I'm gonna need you.
Hey, go call in because you called in very convincingly last week, and you talked a little noise.
Oh yeah, that's what the Marching Storm, my PV Panthers. That's what we gonna do. And
I'm tired of the disrespect.
I said, did he not see them Bama's get beat 45-7? Did he
run
miss
that
it?
video back, Scotty, that they missed the bus? That PV thought so much of us that they said Scotty and Perry, y'all had something
to say. Put a fit. Remember that. Work on me, work on 3. 1, 2, 3. Word.
No need to put the SWAC championship there. There's no need. Why? So you can go watch the game? Go down to Port Arthur. Go down to Corpus Christi. I don't give a damn where you go. Just don't be at a SWAC championship game because you're not going back.
If Cully is who they're going to ride on this year, I don't know what he's done in the offseason. I don't know what he's done at spring camp. You're going to need more production out of him. Let's see what a second-year program under Coach McDough looks like. Is it leftover from what Eric Dooley had, or can Coach McDough really put together a program, and can they compete? I just don't see people. Grayson Conley, 7 of 14, passing for 91 yards and an interception in this ball game. They put in 2 other quarterbacks, Chris Herron, who went 0 for 3 in this ball game, threw an interception, and then Kenneth Patterson 0 for 1 and threw an interception. What the hell is going on in that quarterback room? And first of all, it was raining. Y'all knew y'all didn't have the consistency at the quarterback position to be out there throwing the ball on a defense that I said is number 1 in pass defense in the conference. And you went out there. Well, I told you about coming down here fucking with these folks.
What? Why?
Don't be coming down here fucking with it. Do you want some of this too, old man?
No.
That's
all right, last topic for the day. All right, before we get up out of here, listen, this has been hot. This has been absolutely hot. I was going to add this to Hot and Viral, but I felt like it needed a section all by its lonesome. Charleston White sits down with Cam Newton with his Funky Friday interviews. I know you've seen the clips going around. I'm going to play a snippet, and we're going to talk about it. You can call in to talk about it. I know it's going to be a lot of discussion. There's been a lot of discussion all over Twitter. So here we go.
Now, if you could say I could change that $40,000 to $400,000, would you just leave that $40,000, or would you go get $400,000?
I'm gonna go get $400,000.
Is that not what Deion Sanders did? Okay, what did Deion Sanders do?
Deion's son is a star quarterback that he's trying to get to the league, and he's fathering his son to the league with nobody else's children in mind. And he's getting a pretty big check to do it. And what he's doing is he's robbing black people of their star power. He's robbing black people of their economics because he done took it and gave it to the white man. Because the space that you speak of, why not send it back there too? Why leave it here? Why the baby? Why Lil Wayne? Why all these major people don't go stand on the sideline of coaches that's not a celebrity? Why they don't do it to people who not celebrity? Why? Because this is what I know about black people. They worship and they idolize celebrities. That's why they are worshiping and idolizing Deion. They worship and idolize celebrities. And so I'm here to say, fuck them celebrities.
So, can we keep it funky?
Yes, sir.
Charleston White, it sounds like you a hater.
No. I'm a realist.
No, because you're talking about materialistic things.
No.
Favor ain't fair.
I'm talking about socialism and classism. We ain't talking about favor.
No, but
when you put it in their face, that ain't favor. Because favor is meek, mild, and humble.
So you mad that Shador
No. I'm glad they got robbed. I'm glad they got robbed. I'm glad they got robbed. I'm glad every school he went to, he done been robbed.
That's cooning.
No, it ain't.
That's cooning.
No, it ain't.
Because you bring it, so see, because why I say that's cooning is you turning your story and your beliefs, using your platform to tear down a person who's bringing notoriety to something that wasn't there.
Well, they using their platform to tear down the black school by not giving them the light. Because the black school this is what I'm saying. Black people for the last 2 years when he was at Jackson State, y'all was HBCU hashtagging. I'm talking about you couldn't get on the internet and not see HBCU hashtag. What happened, y'all? Y'all cooning now. With the white man with Colorado University. Y'all cooning now. What happened to the HBCU hashtags? That's all I'm saying. What happened? I'm still HBCU hashtagging while I'm cooning. Yes, sir. And I'm still showing up at the HBCU, buying HBCU girl and rocking it on the major platform. I don't see nobody HBCUing it like me. So who cooning?
So I'm going to tell you this. You just sit up there and told me that you made $40,000 in 2 days. And you also just told me that if you had an opportunity to make $400,000, you would take that. So the fact that Deion said, hold on, I'll let you finish.
Let me just say, I turned down a $5 million deal with Aiden Ross and Kick to take a $500,000 deal with niggas. I turned down a $5 million deal with Aiden Ross and Kick to come over here to sign a $500,000 deal with niggas so I can stay with my people. Yeah, they say I'm dumb and stupid. Yeah, I turned down $5 million so I can go sign $500,000. So I can stay with these niggas. I ain't want to sell out and go beat up them white folks. take all my star power over there with Kick and Aiden Roth with them Jews. I wasn't finna do that, my nigga. I stayed with the niggas. Culture TV. Don't even know if they can give me the whole $500,000. But nigga, I stayed with my people, my nigga. My spirit wouldn't let me do it. So I don't give a damn what Deion taught. Nigga, I sacrificed for it. Yeah, when I told them white folk I'm not leaving my people, they took back the
Okay. I know it's a lot there. It's a lot to unpack. But Perry, I saw the clip. You sent the clip to me. What were some of the thoughts? You know what? Let me go first because I want to, because I know people want to hear my opinion because I've been so very highly critical of Deion, his time, and a lot of the only thing that I would disagree with him on is I don't appreciate people getting robbed for their things, right? I don't agree with Charleston White on that. But I'm always going to be on the fashion that Deion, even in the progress of him wanting to do better or whatever, I do believe him leaving Jackson State and taking his notoriety to Colorado is essentially taking water. Like if you're a stream, right? If you're a water and you're a stream going to a village, and a developer comes in and moves that stream away from you, what will that do to the village? I'm not saying it won't sustain, but it won't thrive like it was before when it had the river. And I do believe Deion leaving early from HBCUs did play an impact. And I do believe literally all he did was take his notoriety, go to Colorado, and they just turned it and 10x'd it of what they were able to do at the FBS program. So a lot of what Charleston Wright is saying, I do agree with. Is Deion wrong for doing it? No. He has the right to. He has the freedom to. He has the choice to. But when Charleston White says, I stay with the niggas, like, don't take, and later he says, don't take me away, don't take the resource away from my people. I can be a resource for my people. Don't take me away from being a resource to my people. And that's literally what Deion did. He took the resource away and took it to the white people who didn't need him as the same resource. So it's a lot to unpack, but Charleston Wright was spitting on that one. What you got, P?
I look at it like this, and he kept saying in the interview, if you watch it, y'all caught up on what I'm saying about Deion, but it ain't just about Deion. I got to come on here and say, fuck Deion for y'all to then open your ears to realize what I'm really saying. Saying fuck Deion, he understood about Deion, but him saying fuck Deion is basically saying fuck the folks who went to Colorado with him because, once again, he said y'all was HBCU hashtag and everything. Y'all was all over the place talking about Jackson State, buying Jackson State gear, putting Jackson State all over everything. Everybody was talking about HBCU. Not just Deion Sanders, but the people. Where the hell did that go? If black folks say they so much for a cause, because he talked about George Floyd. If you're so damn mad about George Floyd and that was a cause, well, you're not mad anymore. The same thing about Sandra Bland, the same thing about Tamir Rice, the same thing we're saying about HBCUs. If y'all really about that, is it just another trend for you, or do you really stand up for what you're saying you want? Because he said black folks as a whole, we fucked up as people because we just continue to follow the next trend more so than standing morally on what we believe is right. And if supporting HBCUs because it's ours is right, then why are we not doing that? He said them white folks been trying to sell season tickets at Colorado for the past, 4, 5, 6 years. Hell, you can get a whole season ticket for $400. Now the fact that it brought in our culture, all the rappers, everything about black folks now wanting to wear Colorado, talking about it's the HBC, it's the PWHBCU, wanting to take what we have and give it to them. Now look at all the billions of dollars that these folks have made, but it was the culture that we had that created that for them. If we was really about our people, we'll put that same energy that we put in all that billions of dollars, because trust me, it may be white folks, it's damn sure a lot of niggas that he's speaking of that's sending that money to Colorado too.
Facts.
Why aren't we having that same energy when we have that conversation over and over and over about the issues that we have at HBCUs, but yet we have the lack of support. We have the lack of energy that we give that same excitement to them. We don't have it for this. And he just talked about basically how he left a community behind that looked at him and said, look at this type of star power. We've never had this because nobody has never come back from being at the top to come back to us and say, hey, you know, y'all down here, let me give you some of what I have.
Yeah.
Typically, like I said before, you never saw nobody make it out the hood to become rich and get to the suburbs and then go back to the hood just to make it out the hood again.
Yeah.
It messed your head up when you say, damn, you left the suburbs to come back over here to mess with me? Then just for you to leave and say, you know what, fuck it, I'm going back to the suburbs. Can't be around you niggas too much longer. But I get it. What are we going to do as people? I hear the Deion narrative, but like he said, don't be stuck on the fact that I'm saying fuck Deion. Be stuck on the fact of the message that I'm saying. What are we going to do as a people in a community when we all stuck together because we idolize these so-called celebrities, these big-time figures, and because we idolize them, we put them in a position as though they're our leaders. In actuality, they're not our leaders.
They're not.
They're celebrities.
Yeah, they're individuals.
Don't look for a celebrity to do prison reform. Don't look for a celebrity to be talking about education reform. Don't look for that out of a damn celebrity, so we don't idolize them that way. And if we're going to look at this situation, why can't we have that same energy that they're having for Colorado and that people have for Deion? And because we was doing it because Deion was there, why don't we do it when we are in a position to do it each and every day as alums, as supporters, and lovers, and even the people that ain't even a part of this space, the people who was just bandwagoning? Because clearly, didn't we see that amongst media? Didn't media try to low-key sneak with him?
Yeah.
And I throw HBCU Game Day out there. I love them to death. I like that content and what they do. They may not be a fan for everybody in terms of what they do, but they got backlash because they were still trying to roll with Neely going over to Colorado because they realized Deion was the way. But are you really for the people? Are you really for what the beginning of your name say for HBCU? And they caught the backlash and slowly had to pull away from that. So what we going to do for our people? What we going to do? Are we going to stand up or we just going to keep following damn trends because that seemed like the coolest thing to do? Or are we going to legit stand up and believe this is for our schools? This is why we do this. We could, like I said yesterday in the show, we could have switched and went anywhere. I'm in Baton Rouge. If I don't feel like Southern or the SWAC or HBCUs, you know how easy it is to jump over to go to holler at LSU? How to get into that world because of the work? But no, we sitting right here doing this. We promoting and uplifting HBCUs, and whether you like the controversy that comes with it or not, at the end of the day, like Charleston White said, fuck the delivery, listen to the message. Yes. And at the end of the day, if the message has action, the action is what we're doing. The action is what Charleston White said, and the people are lacking.
You know, the thing that hit me was the worship and idolizing. Because if anybody can recall, if anybody should happen to recall, that I said that for the last 2 years. I said, y'all are part of the Deion church. Like I've said that, right? You're a part of the Deion worship and the Deion this, and Deion couldn't do no wrong, and Deion didn't have no flaws, and whatever Deion, and people pushed it to him being he's our coach. Oh, he's our coach. We have to support him. And then people put a lot of morals and values down because of who he was and who he was to them, right? How he made them feel, how he made them look. And the thing that got me, what I was upset about mostly, was in the process of Deion leaving, all the celebrities that packed up and left with him. Like the Rick Rosses, the Wallows, the $1 million worth of game. Like how quickly you put aside black things to go run back to a white space.
And never talk about it again.
And never talk about it again. Like Jackson didn't show you love when you stepped down. Like Jackson didn't show you love when you was in their backyard. Like HBCUs and alums didn't show you love when you was there. But for all of a sudden, as soon as Deion leaves, he takes all the celebrities with him, and then you have people running and jumping to Colorado. You know what I'm saying? Talking about, I didn't know anything. You the guy, babe, who's the guy that you like that raps, him and his wife? Toby, right? Toby the rapper. He's like, I came to Colorado because of Deion. when he was in Houston playing Texas Southern, I was there. Now he's in Colorado. That shows me your loyalty is to the idolizing of Deion. It's not to the black people that need you to be there. It's not to the institutions that need your spotlight and that need your fan base to promote and show to different people. It's not that. It's no. I'm going to keep worshiping a man whose black culture, but it's wherever he goes, I go.
Well, he said there's a disconnect.
It's like a professional team. It's like people following LeBron, or people following Peyton Manning, or people following Kobe. Like I don't like the Lakers, I like Kobe. Like that's how it feels to me. And the issue is that, and maybe I'm not the historian that I need to be talking about this, but just how over the last 20, 30 years, how back in the 60s and 70s and 80s, like civil rights people were celebrities. The people fighting for rights were celebrities in our communities, right? The Black Panthers, the Malcolm X's, the Martin Luther Kings, the Rosa Parks, the people on the front line fighting for our rights were the celebrities. Now it's that you got people who have money and who have fame, who can sing really well, and now they're supposed to be our cultural leaders. They're supposed to be our moral guidance, our moral compasses in today's society, when 9 times out of 10, they're just worried about themselves and how they find the next bag. It's just amazing to me. It's a lot of callers, but go ahead, Perry, make your point. I'm gonna get to these callers.
Because it's a disconnect. They up here and they down, and we down here. We the regular people. That's why Charleston White, I know what you said. You don't want nobody to get robbed, but he was saying, you see Cam Newton sitting up there too, the same way as Deion Sanders. And Cam in his mind saying, man, you mean to tell me Deion can go down there and you talking about them folks gonna rob? He said, hell, them folks don't give a damn about if that's Deion Sanders. They'll rob their own mothers, because down there, it's survival of the fittest. It's whoever can get it. They don't give a damn about Deion, because who is he? Deion is nobody. If they see bling bling and an opportunity, they're going to take it. Didn't they do it in Jackson? Didn't they do it at UCLA in the locker room? Nobody gives a damn, and that's the disconnect that he's trying to tell them, that, hey, when you up here, it's easy to look down and have this world and to think that it's so different. But then you forget about the people that's down here, that they actually still live everyday life like the common person, where the struggles is all a part that, which is i.e. the HBCUs. The HBCUs are down here and struggling because you up here, you had us in that spotlight to be right there, and you walked away from it. And when you walked away, all the black culture seemed like the ones that wasn't already here being a part of this, the ones that came like you and then stayed with it. Everybody else walked out on us, and then it left us. Then it was supposed to be, I guess we were going to die off, or y'all just go back to being whatever, back to the ghetto you go. You know what I'm saying? Shit, you had a taste of this lifestyle, now you got to go.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's the tough part. What we going to do as people, what we going to do to truly support, because we only seen the light shit what celebrities do. If a celebrity got on a Gremlin or a Southern shirt,
that was hot
all day. Oh my God, did you see Beyonce with this Gremlin shirt on? Did you see, anybody? We love when celebrities do stuff. Why don't we have that same energy when we just simply do stuff amongst us? We don't need validation, but in our head, because of the propaganda in our community, when you go back to what you said about who's the new leaders and what we look as leaders in this community these days, it's the ball players and it's the people that can sing and dance. As long and act, I throw acting in there too. If you can act, ball player, sing and dance, our community has, with the propaganda that's been put out there, that's black people. That's about as good as you can be. And if you are black and that's what you do, you have reached the pinnacle. Every black person should want to be a singer or a rapper or a dancer. Every black person should want to be a ball carrier, or every black person should want to be some type of this celebrity that comes with entertainment. But that's the false facade that we as a people believe, because that's what they continue to feed in us. That's what these kids are seeing every day. When they watching the rappers with the money and with the goals, and when they see the chicks, the females with the big asses and the tits, that's what this is what we're feeding the kids, and this is what everybody feel like that's what they have to be. Because they'll try to shame you because you didn't play ball, or because you wasn't as good to be maybe a college scholarship athlete or a NFL. You can't talk to nobody, hey man, I played ball, man. Your ass wasn't good. You didn't go to college, man. It don't matter.
Yeah.
Does that make me less than because I wasn't that involved with sports? Hell, there's plenty of other shit to do too. You know that, right? And one of them for me was to get an education.
Yeah.
But for many others, it's whatever they want. But we knock that, we downsize, and we'll try to belittle you if you don't seem to fit that narrative. And that's for the vast majority. And I'm not saying that's for everybody, but imagine what these young kids feel like today. That's why they caught up into the world of social media. Our black kids, because they have to try to live this facade, this idea that I can't even be nice and say good morning. You got to be like, what you looking at, nigga?
Yeah.
You know, why are you looking at me? Oh, excuse me, I bumped into you. No, you bumped into, you know, it is the culture that's being created because of what we're constantly watching. And that what we're watching is basically painting a picture of this is who you're going to be as a people.
Or what success looks like. I'll tell you one story real quick, and I'm going to get to these callers. I appreciate you guys for holding on. My thing is this, right? I'll never forget. I was coaching basketball in Japan on the American base. And I was coaching middle school kids. And I had a player on my team. Every Wednesday, he couldn't make practice. And one of the kids was like, he was like, bro, why you why you always miss practice? He said, I got piano lessons. My mom put me in piano lessons. He was like, oh man, like piano, like who does that? Like you play piano? I said, hey man, I said, bro, keep doing your piano lessons. I said, because you gonna pull all the ladies when you get to high school or college and you got that skill set. But it's the mentality that we have is that it's this or it ain't no that, it's this. Like
we gotta be the same.
You all got I've seen this play football, so football, I want to make it in football. Knowing it's a 0.1% chance, 0.1% chance that you'll make it to the league. But how many doctors, how many lawyers, how many neuroscientists, how many physicists, how many businessmen, entrepreneurs, like it boggles my mind. I'm telling you, it boggles my mind.
Everybody want to be a damn rapper, don't they?
Everybody. Let me get to some of these callers. Dre, coming to you.
Man, yeah, I sit there, I heard y'all snippet. The only problem I really have is how much money has Charleston White put in? Because you can't talk all this and you ain't cut a check. There's plenty of HBCUs. I don't know where he lives, but you can't talk all this and you ain't put no money in the pot because they need money. And you ain't got to be a celebrity to give money. Whatever your best is, like they say in church, whatever your best is, that's what you should give. So to me, whatever you say about Deion, at least Deion put something in the pot. You know, Charleston White don't need to say nothing until he cut a check to somebody HBCU.
I disagree, man. Why does it that bothers me?
It comes down to money, though.
That's bothering. Like I'm not saying you're not right. I want to be very clear. I'm not saying you're not right, but at the end of the day, to get on a major platform like Cam Newton's Funky Friday and say, where were y'all at? Where have y'all been for HBCUs? There has to be validity in that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, they should have been there before prom came there. To be honest, because HBCU's been around before prom. So they probably should have been given before prom. To be truthful. They should have been, and prom just put something on it to give after him. But for him to be on the national platform talking all this, you can't talk all this without putting money in the pot.
I think the value that he gave just bringing it up, there's a value to that. Just to mention HBCUs and to say Jackson State, that's a value right there within itself that it's helping institutions that necessarily you don't have to put a dollar to it, but it's the action. And the fact that he even mentioned that for millions of people to watch and see that and to create and have this think tank for that conversation to be sparked, that has a value within itself without even having to cut a check.
No, I see, but yeah, I disagree. Because cutting the check is what needed. People have been talking about Jackson for the last 3 years.
So okay, let me get Dre. Let me ask you this: if he wrote a check for $50,000 to North Carolina A&T and never said another word about HBCUs, that's the best thing possible because he wrote a check for $50,000 and never said anything else.
At least he wrote it to A&T. You know what I'm saying?
No. What I'm saying is
because there's plenty of people who give silently, and you don't know where the money coming from.
That's not my point. My point is would you rather him just give you $50,000 and never mention you again, or would you rather him beat the door down on major platforms and have people know and like, hey, yeah, that's right, or question it or think about it and put it in front of 2.2 million people, or do you want him to give $50,000 and just say, okay, I did my part?
To me, they're both needed. To me, they're empty words.
Okay.
Because you need both is needed. You know, yeah, you need to sound the alarm, but sounding the alarm, if all of a sudden you need, let's say you're hungry, me talking about food isn't gonna help your stomach. I need to either buy you food or I need to give you money for food.
But at least you told people I was hungry because I didn't even tell nobody I was hungry.
So that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's right or wrong. You know, I mean, and to me, prime friends can support his friends. Like people support you and they know you don't even like Jackson, but they support you. You got a lot of people that support you and they don't necessarily agree with everything you do, but they're supporting their friend. So I'm just saying he's doing all this talking.
Go ahead.
I believe some money should be behind that. That's all.
And I'll say this, and I'm gonna let you go. My thing is this: I can't disapprove one way or the other because I have people on here who aren't members, but when they meet friends and they say, hey, have you checked out this podcast? Right? Or have you checked out this show? Like, yeah, I would like for you to donate. I would like for you to give money to the platform. But if you tell 10 people and 5 of them people donate $5, I done made 50 off one person's word of mouth. There is so many different ways to give other than just simply giving money.
I bet you it's different when you meet an actual member. Like I saw you today because I'm a manager for American Airlines in Charlotte. I saw you and your wife walking.
Oh, you saw us? Damn, why you didn't say that, Dre?
Man, I'm a manager. I ain't got time to be dealing with y'all.
Oh man, you gotta be like, hey, what's up? Like, hey, oh, come on, man.
Man, I see everybody.
Oh, go ahead.
I've seen everybody, so it ain't nothing new. You know, but you see how it is when you meet a member, it's definitely a lot different than somebody who's donated per se. You know what I'm saying? That's different than you meet somebody where maybe they may have just found out about you. So that's all I'm saying.
I get you.
I use me for an example, like what I do. I don't necessarily per se write a check and give to Southern and say, hey, Southern, this is Perry White's contribution. Maybe outside of an alumni federation do, yearly, annual do, or whatever. But what I do is provide a service that creates a value to the institution. Am I paid by the institution or not? And what I do with the band, I do that off the love of me giving back to the school. That's not me having to cut a check. It's just the value that I'm able to give back that hopefully creates something for the school, in which it does with the media for the band and everything else. That's just my way of giving back. That is a service that a dollar don't necessarily have to be written out or given. I'm just saying simply Charleston White getting on there saying because ain't nobody else having a conversation about HBCUs is what he's saying. Who else is even bringing up an HBCU now that Deion is gone? And so for him to remotely just say that and then bring that up for Jackson State, whether he truly cares or not, he created the conversation for people to start talking about HBCUs again, in which we forgot about it by the bling and the light of Colorado. That has to merit value behind it when you get people, just like we're doing right here, to start talking about that and really say, you know what, damn, he ain't lying.
Okay.
Nah, I appreciate the call as always, Dre. Next time, hook your boy up with some American Airlines stuff, man. God damn.
I ain't got time fooling with y'all, man.
Jesus.
Hey, appreciate it.
All right, bro. Appreciate you. I see a lot of you guys, Smash, coming to you.
Hey, man, Scotty, you'll keep it long. Hey, after listening to that Charleston White interview, I have a whole newfound respect for him. I never really paid attention because I feel like he was talking about foot crap. But you see that part of the interview when he broke down how he did this, went to law school, and name dropping all the people he worked with, and nobody was listening.
Yeah, he worked with the congressional and all that. Yeah,
it's because you can tell his whole intellect changed. You know what I'm saying? He went from talking Uncle Records to talking CEO. I said, damn, like, it's crazy, but he absolutely right. I agree, man. But everybody that cracked the joke, I could find a parking spot now at game. Everybody left. When Deion was there, everybody was HBCU. Austin Wright not wrong. He's not wrong at all. He's spitting them facts and the cold hard stuff that he need to hear. Like the last dude said, he ain't donate no money, but I feel like him simply bringing up the HBCU thing on a big platform like Cam Newton that the hip people watch, that's giving enough. You know what I'm saying? That's simply giving enough. And he also said something about like him and Umar have the same. They saying the same message about the amount of money that Deion raised. What if they'd have gave all this money to some of the HBCUs? How could that benefited from the HBCUs? No, Deion not wrong for leaving, but yes, he's wrong in a sense for helping, for taking the help when you say you was giving it. You could let the players you still should motivate players to go to HBCU. You know what I'm saying? So long story short, I encourage y'all to really go watch that Charleston White full interview and don't just go off what you think he's saying because he name dropping Deion. The delivery delivery might not be how you want, but the message is definitely there. I'm going, Scotty.
Hey man, I love it, Smash. Appreciate you, bro. All right, I'm gonna get. Hey, I know I see a lot of members, but I want to get people I haven't heard from before. So, Mr. D, Mrs. DeGratier, and Mr. Porter, I'm gonna get to you guys last. I'm gonna get to these new people. 0201 coming to you. Hey, calling you live.
What's the last of the number?
Hey, calling you live.
Oh, that's me. Hello.
Yeah, you live.
Can you hear me?
I can. Don't watch your television. Turn your television off. All right. Just listen. Just talk to the phone. What's going on?
Okay. So I just have a question. Like, I just really want to know, what is your beef with PV?
What'd she say?
What's my beef with PV?
Yeah, bring the smoke to him tonight.
No, for real, because I don't know. I feel like everybody was just supporting FAMU this game, which is great. Okay, shout out to the Snakes or whatever. But the Panthers, what about our love?
We want what?
What about like our love? Like nobody was openly supporting us. Like not even you.
Why?
Make a whole hype video dissing what you said just to prove our point.
No, but you made my point. You guys suck. Like I don't know what you got blown out twice in 1 year. What respect do you deserve? You made my point. You shouldn't.
Whoa! What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What respect do you deserve?
What respect do you deserve?
It's like, did you tell us? Oh, congratulations.
For what? You were fool's gold, and I called it from the FAMU game. Listen, when you guys first came, I know you probably knew, you saw me on Twitter, so that's cool, and I appreciate that, right? So the first time when y'all went to FAMU's homecoming, I said that this game is going to be a lot to a little bit, and come to find out, you slip, fall, and bump your head to 45-7. Now, for some reason, you think y'all was supposed to miraculously go back to the same place in worse conditions and beat FAMU? And you want people to show you love for what?
I feel like we could have won that game if things was different.
This must be a prank call, Scotty.
It gotta be.
This is a prank call. Man, you stop playing.
Like, let's be for real. We deserve to be there just as much as Tim. You deserve to be there. Whether we got smacked or whatever, like you have a platform. You could have used your voice and be like, hey, you know what? Like, y'all proved me wrong. Whatever, congratulations on getting there. And then you could have still been talking about us and, saying how you support FAMU or something, but you didn't say nothing. And to me, that's just like a slap in the face because, like, we worked hard to get there just as much as they worked hard too.
Listen, I'm sorry. I get what you're saying, right? But that is a participation trophy mindset that this new generation has, right? Like, oh my God, where is our love? Why didn't you tell me that we could win? Why didn't you tell me that we can be great? Listen, that is not my job. Your coach and your team is supposed to understand what they need to do to be great. Me as an analyst, I simply look at the football game. I look at what it is, and you guys never had a chance. You are the best of the worst. And the only reason you even got in the game is because Alcorn slipped up. That's the only reason you got into the game. And that's you backdoor you southerned your way into a championship.
I don't like that term.
You backdoored your way to a championship and you got kicked out the front door like you were supposed to because you're not good. But it's okay. Go home.
That's so crazy. You saying that we're not good, but we beat Alcorn. You saying we the best of the worst is actually crazy. Like, you sound like
ma'am. Let me ask. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
I'm scared to have her on the team. You know,
can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
If there's any PV people out there, we love our boys.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Do you play any sport? Do you play a sport?
Yeah.
Okay, what sport do you play? Softball. Okay. Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
If you played, let's say you play for, I hope you probably play for PV. So if you play PV softball and then you go play Jackson State softball team, right? And they beat you by 12 runs, right? As somebody watching the game, how are we supposed to tell you? How are we supposed to say, well, that last time they had a matchup, they really had a chance when you got blown. I mean, you got the doors blown off of you. It's different if the game was 45-42, if the game was 28-21, then I would wholeheartedly agree with you. I'd be like, hey man, listen, PV come to play next week or come to play in the championship game. That could be a game. I would have said that.
Okay, you're right. I think my real question is, would have had the same energy with anybody, like any other school besides PV?
Oh, you don't watch the show. I can't stand Jackson State. I say I hope they lose every game. I don't even do PV like that. Now I say y'all bad, but I don't wish y'all to lose every game. I hope and pray that Jackson loses every game. That's a whole different level of disrespect. So y'all not even on that level. Jackson State is like I get together with my wife and we hold hands and we congregate and we ask God to have them have a winless season. See, that's different. I don't do that to TV.
So you just don't like us?
Okay. He's not getting this. Okay. The reason that it's not that I don't like PV, right? It's not much to like, right? And what I mean by that is this.
Oh.
No, I'm being honest. You Bamas don't travel. You have horrible school spirit when it comes to supporting football. If it's not a classic or a homecoming, that's the only time you show up. What is there to support? You barely support. Perry, if you recall, a couple years ago, where they had a chance to clinch up the championship against Valley at home, they had nobody in the stands.
782 people to be exact.
782 people.
And they had won the SWAC West, headed to a SWAC championship game on senior day.
What are we talking about? But I'm supposed to give more support than the own school? You got that backwards, sweetie. I don't. So when PV fans show up and show out, then I'll give you the respect that you deserve. But if you don't even give your own team the respect that it deserves, why should I?
Well, I personally go to every game because I work for the football team. I just want to.
So you obligated. So you obligated. The only reason you go because you obligated.
Oh no! Even if I didn't, I go to every game.
That's good. See,
that's great.
Talk more people into coming.
Until I die.
Yeah. Hey, PV. Who knows? That's how y'all do it, right? That's how it go. That's how it go, right? PV. Who knows? Like that's how it go, right? that's
not how it goes.
That's not how it goes. I don't hear it very often. So how does it go? I'm sorry.
It's PV, you know.
Oh,
You know.
Oh, my bad. I thought it was who knows. Because I didn't know. So I didn't. But I appreciate the correction.
Hey, and let me ask her a question. She's still there. Why don't people support, in your opinion, when you go to these games? Because obviously you're there, and if you work with the football team and you see the home games and you look around in the stands and like, damn, where the people at? So empty, the band can sit wherever they want. Why do you think people don't go to PV games? What is it about it? Being right there close to Houston, and what does students have to do on the weekend? Why don't nobody go to the PV games like that?
I would just say they just don't want to come. Simply, that's literally just what it is. They like the tailgate is the main attraction. But some people come, some people don't. But the boys have support. They just don't have as much as other HBCUs like they have. But I really don't know why they don't come. I mean, our team's really not that bad. They deserve the love and support. So hopefully that changed next season since we won.
Hey, let me tell you this. Listen, you good with me. I know I make fun of a lot of PV fans, but for you to call in and rep your school the way you doing, you good with me. So anytime you want to call in and talk your shit, you are more than welcome to do that. If you win, if you Bama so happens to win again, I don't see it happening. But if it's just so happen, you are more than welcome.
Trust, we don't win again.
I love it. Listen.
What was this energy last week?
That's what I'm saying. PV need more people like you. For real. They need more people like you. I love it.
Thank you.
No, anytime.
Okay, you can go to the next caller though, y'all.
I got you. No, appreciate the call though.
Hey, I like her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she a real one. She a real one.
Softball. We're gonna have to go look at some PV softball, huh?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I was gonna check her out. See what them PV softball doing.
I wonder how many people show up to PV softball games and they ain't going to the football games.
As many smiley faces Paris got. Anyway. And let's get to some more callers. 3483 coming to you.
Man, what's going on, Scotty?
What's up, man? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Man, named Chris, man. I'm calling from Columbia, bro. I'm a South Carolina State alum. I watch the show, follow you and all that. But I had to chime in on this last call. Not the female, the man before, where he was saying you got to leave a check. I, as an alumni of HBCU, I can't stand when I hear that. It's just like, people don't understand, and I'm going to just take State and Point. It's a state-funded school. If I pay taxes, if you pay your taxes, guess what? I ain't donating every time I pay my damn taxes.
Facts.
It's a state-supported school. My question is, they're asking, we always, well, why didn't the celebrity do this or why didn't he do that? Why doesn't you pointing the finger at the celebrity? Is 3 pointing back at you. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
What is you doing as an alumni?
Yeah.
We come to homecoming and we don't go to nothing else. But you're worrying about another individual who had no affiliation with the school, but he should have cut a check when you should be doing that yourself. And then saying, well, I don't have the money that they have in this. If you 10, 5, anything. If take for Clemson started off, I paid 10 a year. It started off with people giving $10 donations. But we feel if we're not giving 500, thousands or whatever, you ain't giving back. Anything counts. You give. But there always the assumption is, well, if you only cut a check, you can't speak on it. Nah, if I'm a citizen of the state and it's a state-supported school, I'm contributing every time I pay taxes to something because some money that your taxes go towards that university. Question is, where's the money coming from the state that's allocated for those schools? It kills me with that. But the alumni are not the ones that donate, but Charleston White should be. He should have left a check. Why didn't you leave a check?
That's fair. Listen, I would say this. I love your premise, right? But then this is what I'm going to say to throw it back at you. When you leave, it's like this, right? You got to look at the government like a black mama, right? When she gets your birthday money, do you always see all of your birthday money?
No.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why you want your aunts and uncles to give it to you directly. You know what I'm saying? Hand it to me.
But from that premise, I understand. But what I'm saying is you want to see it directly. But what I ask the alumni could do more than what they're doing. Some do not. Some do nothing. But then you have a lot that religiously gives like they give to the church.
Yeah.
I mean, they give regularly.
Yeah.
But then you have a large percentage that doesn't do anything. And then it goes into how did that kid leave that school? One thing my professor told me in school, and it was an educational psychology class, he said the minute HBCU started to treat it like a business, they would start to flourish.
I agree.
They act like they said we don't treat it like a business. So they look at the kids or the students there like you supposed to just take whatever we give you and suck it up, but still give. Nah, it's a transactional situation. Even though I went to the school, guess what? That individual paid for that education.
That's fair.
So guess what? That transaction is done the minute they walk across the stage. But you have to ask yourself, how did that kid leave this school? Did you put anything in him that made him want to support this school? Did you even put that in their head? One thing I saw, I had my daughter graduated from state, but she transferred from Claflin. One thing I saw Dr. Tisdale do from day one, he beat in their head about giving back to the university. So it became part of their culture. That's why they are the highest HBCU in giving back.
Talk to him.
But when you have
talk to him, tell him why Claflin the highest.
He put that in their head from day one. I saw it firsthand 2 years ago. He put it in their head. He drilled in giving back to the university. But when you have universities, presidents or alumni associations, you don't see the kid until you walk across the stage and you make the announcement, hey, we want you to become a part of the National Alumni Association. We need you to do such. Hell, you don't know what this kid been through. How many times he got dicked over in registration, didn't get this, didn't get that, didn't have the support. And we leave with the, oh, I survived South Carolina State, I survived A&T. What? It should have been, I thrived while I was there.
I agree. Hey, man, I appreciate
it's just the logic.
I agree. I appreciate the call. What's up, man?
I would say 2 points. I think one, I agree with what he's saying. If you're an HBCU grad or a student, there's more we can do. Also, you got to factor in the customer service aspect of while I was at your business, how was I treated in the fact that once I leave, I'm willing to come back and be a part of it. And because I say come back and be a part of it, not all things coming back as an alum have to be you giving that big check at halftime on the 20-yard line. A lot of people leave HBCUs and have services to offer that if they come back, like my services, I'm in media. I use the services that I have to elevate the university the best way that I can through my services. I may not write a check for them to give directly for somebody like me to do it, but I'll take what I'm capable of doing to help elevate the school. People have services that they can do to give back to the school. The second point is, I think overall, although I agree with him, I think Charleston White's point as you go to the video ain't just the people that attended HBCUs. It was the people that had nothing to do with HBCUs but came in this space because they listened to Deion give that idea that we black, this ours, and we got to support it because God sent me here for us to learn how to build up what we have and for me to put the spotlight on there. The people who so-called was for the movement and not necessarily HBCU grads, but just black folks who ain't got nothing to do with education, but want to do something about community and saying black folks, they left us. The people that ain't got nothing to do with the HBCUs, but jumped on this bandwagon and said, I'm all for it. I.e., he said the rappers and everybody else, but the very simple black folks that are in the community. And they took all of that energy to Colorado. Because a lot of those fans that said Colorado that followed Deion was Jackson State fans and didn't have shit to do with HBCUs. But because Deion was there and they idolized him, they was yelling HBCU. And just as quick as they yelled HBCU, they took that and then they started yelling Colorado.
Yeah.
And I think that's the overall thing. Getting just black folks, period. You ain't got to be the HBCU grad. You just got to be somebody in the community that was on that wave saying, I love HBCUs because look what Deion is doing for them. And then now you're not yelling anything about your community.
I want to touch on what Ms. Griffin says. And I think a lot of institutions need to understand. People need to take the Chick-fil-A model, right? You go back to Chick-fil-A, one, because of the ease of service and the service that you receive while you're there, right? That is memorable, my pleasure. You know, the little things make an experience that much more greater. So teaching proper customer service to whomever, listen, and this is the thing for me. I'm gonna say this. What bothers me is this. People act like oh, well, PWIs don't have to do that because they have other resources where they don't have to. To me, when you're a smaller business, you have to stand out, right? When you're a smaller business, there are things that you do. Like if I buy a shirt from a small business, they might have a handwritten note in it. Thank you for your purchase. We appreciate your service. 10% off, because they want to make it personal. They want you to feel like, hey, I care about you. And as an HBCU school, there are things that you should be doing that make your students feel like, man, this outside of just the environment being black, outside of you being able to be you, which is a luxury in itself, it's the little things, right? Like my guy, like my boy he graduated from Payne College. He said, my teacher kept my hat for 7 years. I went to the military, I went to school, I left, I came back. She kept my hat for 7 years because she was hoping that I would walk back through her office and say, hey, I want to graduate. And when he went back to Payne, she gave him his hat and said, I was waiting for you. That is the small things that make HBCU schools an experience that much greater. And that's why you have that type of involvement and give back, because they can literally say, man, I don't know where I would be without this teacher. I don't know where I'll be without this bursar office lady or the cafeteria lady who looked out for me. It's those moments, you know what I'm saying?
And Scotty, you know, at the same time, you have to beat that and teach that in their head as a freshman from freshman seminar all the way through the exit process of being a senior about to graduate, the importance of alumni. Alumni associations and federations have to be even more engaged. They can't do it from afar.
Yeah.
A lot of times at the HBCUs, they do it from afar. A lot of times you don't even find out what an alumni house is on campus. You don't typically find out about somebody about alumni period until you raise your hand and they swearing you into something. You're like, what the hell? I don't even know who opened this. I don't have no engagement in this. I've been here for 4 or 5 years and never even knew anybody in here. The beauty of that in terms of having strong alumni is not just one for you to give back, but for you to learn about the pride on the different elements that you can do and be involved with the institution, right? Not only that, the purpose and the best thing about the alumni is no matter where you go, and they have chapters all over the country, they can be the catalyst for you to get jobs, to build those networks, to get you through the door. That because together, united together, we strong, right? If I can get in because guess what? Your boy, the manager at American Airlines, right? Then I come in out of college because that network through the alumni, we're able to continue to elevate and put each other on. The more we put each other on, the stronger we're going to get as an alumni base. Now, the more resources we can have. Now, you're talking about those dollars, those partnerships, because what you think the white folks doing?
Same.
It is a partnership through the networks of their alums that go off and get those jobs and becoming those rooms. They bring those rooms and they have those conversations back to the school. We have to teach that nonstop as alums when you talk about the federation associations at HBCUs. They ought to be so involved. They ought to be involved more than financial aid, the admissions office, or when you go into the damn cab just to get lunch. Alumni got to be a part of every single day life of HBCUs, and it has to be instilled to have that pride to give back or be a part once I leave this school when I graduate.
Absolutely. I got a lot of callers. Listen, I got a lot of calls on the call line. All right. I got like 10 people on here. So I can't keep y'all long. Make your point. We'll discuss it and keep it.
You got a time clock?
Nah, I ain't got a time clock. 24/70 coming to you.
So like every time
24/70 coming to you. All right. Yeah, you're live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh, it's your boy Kool-Aid from TV.
What's up? Front row center, my boy. I like that. I respect that, Kool-Aid. I like it.
Yeah, man. I ain't really had to really back up TV or, talk too much trash, man, but I'm just here to say we did prove you wrong. I had to throw that soundbite in there. Hope you give me some more soundbites in next season because we will be back.
Hey, listen, man. When I tell you that was A+ work, bro, that was A1 work. I was, a lot of people was like, sending it to me and it was like, oh, Scotty, he got you. But I'm like, that's what it's all about, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you did is truly what HBCU in football is all about. It's the trolling, it's the back and forth, it's the hey, we gonna show you what it is. And the way you put it together was absolutely tremendous, man. So I want to give you your flowers for what you're doing for PV in the media department, because a lot of programs don't have that. You know, you have the FAMUs, you have the Southerns, but you doing that for PV was absolutely amazing, man. So want to give you a shout out and your flowers for real, for real.
Yeah, appreciate it. I just want to say shout out to my media team. Tori, you called it earlier, Roman Graphics, D, Jazz, the entire media team, man. We all put in work for this program. And we definitely coming harder next year. And I'm saying shout out to Coach Burden of the DBs, because he's who we work under too. So saying big shout out. We definitely dropping some heat.
All right, man. Listen, you got me this year. You got me this year because y'all didn't show up at the SWAC championship. But I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be more. It's gonna be more heat coming PV's way. Understand?
All right. Hey, that's a big bet. That's a big bet. Hey, we got content for that.
All right, man. Hey, you keep doing your thing, bro. What is about the most PV engagement we done had all year? And they lost. And them Bama's done lost. This is the most. Listen, okay, I see the 12 fans. I see the 12 fans. All right, let me go. I'm gonna go Miss Griffin, then 8690. What's up, Miss Griffin? Talk to me.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I just want to say, I've been reading some of the comments about the alumni giving, alumni treatment. I went to a white school for undergrad, and, you know, it's all about how you're treated, you know. And someone said something about, you know, does it get over being dicked? I'm like, excuse me, being dicked over and still give back? No, when you're mistreated, why would you want to give back to somebody who mistreated you for 2 years or 3 years or 4 years?
Facts.
So I don't know. I think we give people a pass because we share the same skin color. No, I've been mistreated by Black folks. I wouldn't even give a time of day to now 30 years ago. So get over that. You know, okay to be dicked over. I'm like, really? Excuse me.
No
All
problem.
right. Have a good night.
Thank you, Ms. Griffin. But she has a great point, right? It's like people look at a struggle as a rite of passage, and it's the most boggling thing to me, right? That they'll be like, "Oh man, I didn't have no heat, didn't have any shoes, the cafeteria closed 3 days out the week, but I made it." Oh man.
Hasn't that been Black people's story though? Do you remember the stories where they talk about the old folks? I had to walk 10 miles to school with the same shoes and the hole where my big toe is. And, you know, when my parents dropped me off at school, all I had was 3 pair of jeans and 2 shirts and this trash bag. And, you know, that has been the story of a struggle of us as people. And that has become a badge of honor because old folks used to use it all the time about what they had to do to go deal with something, right? Mm-hmm. And because we heard of what they had to do to go deal with something, we then take it from that world and take it to this world. The difference is of the world that we live in today, people don't feel like they got to deal with that same shit because they feel like people have now come up. People have gotten better conditions. Things have gotten better for certain people and certain groups in order to be able to be now part of a middle class where back when your grandparents was around, you probably had everybody sleeping in a 2-room shack. Everybody had to share this and share that, and now people are starting to come up, and people are starting to change. You see it when you talk about families sending their kids in, they the Black kids at the suburban white school.
Yeah.
And they not going to the HBCUs because all their white friends talking about
going to Maryland or Notre Dame and all that type of stuff. Absolutely.
And then when they come and all they hear is the stories about the HBCUs, that sounds horrible to them because of now the life that they live in. And for a lot of Black people, that's the truth of what it is. Now, that same struggle story ain't carrying over these days because these kids don't give a damn. These new generation, they don't give a damn about that struggle shit because they're not trying to be on social media looking like they struggling. Whether they are truly or not, they not trying to show it. So they want to be somewhere where it don't look like it's a struggle.
And that's their right to do so. 8690 coming to you. Hey, call you live.
Hello, I'm a Prairie View student from Atlanta, but I just wanted to say, you know, truly, Prairie View, I had to give you credit when you said we the best of the worst, but I want you to remember that it is what it is, and we still the best of who we had. So we beat Southern, We beat Alcorn, we beat Texas Southern, and I mean nobody worried about Valley and Pine Bluff, but we won those games. We did what we had to do to get what we had to get. So like saying that we didn't deserve to be there, then the other teams, some great, some Southerns, some Gremlins, they should have won the games. They should have won.
And you should have won the game. You should have won. If you want to talk about all the games, you should.
I'm not even mad.
You didn't even win.
We lost the game. Like, I mean, we gonna lose the game. We lost the game. Yes, I admit that, and I agree with you 100%. Like, I can't deny. Like, I can make all the excuses in the world about we should have did this, they did that. Yeah. But the matter of fact is, we deserve to be at that championship. That's the whole point.
Listen, if I was a college football committee, I would have let y'all ass out. All right, like y'all Bama would have been Florida State. Okay, like I'm not putting you Bamas in that mug. It would have been Alcorn. It would have been anybody else but y'all. Okay,
Alcorn would have got beat worse. Alcorn.
Nah.
Well, Alcorn wasn't there, so we never gonna know.
Nah.
We never gonna know.
Well, I mean, we know y'all weren't going. We all knew y'all weren't going to win. That's what we did know. It was a consensus, okay, across the board.
None of the schools in the West would have won. None of them would have won.
Oh yeah, I give you that. I give you that.
That's why half of them don't got coaches now.
Did they send out a text tonight to all the people? Like, what the hell is going on?
Like, what? You got somebody from the Browns who had a losing record when he got there anyway. You just pushed him because you was an alumni. And then that man already was a trader leaving from one school to another just because he wanted to get some little more money. Like, what, man? Please. I'm not worried about no other school in the West because if they would have done it, they would have done it. We the ones that won the game this season. That's that. And to the fans, I'm going to be real. Truly, you got to remember what who Prairie View is, and I hate to say this, we got the longest losing college football history. So, like, truthfully, the fans, students, I even grew up as a Prairie View fan. People be like, okay, we're going to the game. We're going to probably come late, stay till halftime to see the March of Storm. If you a band fan for real, you're going to stay to that fifth quarter, but we stay to the halftime.
Nobody want to watch that marching drizzle.
Guys, they fan base for football. And it just, because truly, like, the Baby Dome for basketball, it's going to be filled come January, trust. But I think Prairie View got to re-energize they fans for football. But the thing is, the fans there, and there's plenty of them, because I know my people, we from Georgia, we come when we go play schools like Alabama A&M, Alabama State, we go to those games. Like, we do have fans. It's not many of them, but the ones who there, they love their team, they ride, and we love our institution. You can laugh all you want, but we still got almost about 20 championships of SWAC. We founded this place, and without us, none of these schools would be here. So just remember that. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, sir, for
what was this energy towards FAMU last week?
Oh.
I mean, damn, they shoot them tonight. It's like, dude, where y'all been all season?
Oh, how you lose and then come out the woodwork shooting? Oh, yeah, but
well,
at least we beat. Yes. Like, what?
They mad because they thought they was gonna prove us wrong in what we said about the game, and the fact that they got there, they felt the outcome was gonna be different. They was gonna be, bro. If PV won, do you know what they was gonna be doing to us on here?
I wouldn't have been on here.
Right. They need to be mad at each other. They need to be calling on 3-way, 4-way on a conference call and be like, hey, Nick, why you wasn't at the game? No, why you wasn't at the game? I need to get your ass to the game. Like, it ain't us. We just telling you what we see.
What y'all need to do is take y'all ass over to the YouTube channel PV versus everybody and take that energy over there. Okay. Your season's over. Your season is over. Take that energy to it's a YouTube channel. All you PV fans, you guys want to talk about co-mingle, talk about Scotty and what he said and what he did, Perry, what he said and what he did. Take y'all asses over to PV versus everybody. It's a whole YouTube channel. They got 130 people, which means I got 130 fans, right? Take y'all ass over there and y'all can argue for all eternity about how
you should. You know, we kept talking about our black college fans, HBCU fans, really football fans. PV don't seem to be real football fans. He said stay to watch the band at halftime, and if you really like the band,
if you really like the band, if you really like the marching drizzle, oh my God,
they're not football fans at PV. They just like the atmosphere of HBCU games, i.e., the classic at the beginning of the year and homecoming. Where is that same energy at home? Why they can't transition that to have that same if the students and everybody else pop out? Where's that same energy throughout the season?
Man, because they don't think they're gonna win. Listen, the only reason you talk after you lose is just talk about at least we made it, at least we got there. Because if you really believe you that team, you come out the gate swinging. But when you don't think you're going to win nothing, you just sit back in the weeds like, oh, God, we got another one? Oh, we won another one? Oh, my God, we have a chance to go to the championship? That's what PV fans are. Like, come on, man. Like, I did a whole show about this. We did a whole show about, the SWAC championship. None of them was called in.
KJ Black, the only PV.
The only one that stood on business, and he lost too. You know what I'm saying?
He really wasn't even believing it.
He was just trying to show face to the alums.
Yeah, he was tiptoeing, but he didn't believe that either.
Either way, hey, it's just fun, and we're not even talking about PV and PV fans calling, and that's crazy.
I thought we were talking Charleston White.
70-34 coming to you.
Scotty and Perry, what's up, my brothers?
What's up, man? What's your name? With?
It's Rob calling from Dallas.
Talk to me.
First and foremost, I want to send a shout out to the world's greatest fraternity on their Founders Day, Alpha Phi Alpha, founded December 4th, 1906, celebrating 118 years of service today. And second of all, I want to backtrack to your show on Sunday morning. Scotty, you are absolutely right, man. You can beat me. Fuck them. You are media. You are 100% the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So thank you, God. Secondly, you have inspired me. I'm going to call my alma mater tomorrow and get active in the alumni chapter, setting up something, direct deposit, so I can do a little something every month.
Come on now.
To keep it 100, to keep it real. But God bless you, boys. You guys are good. And Scotty, fuck the SWAC. Do what you need to do. And keep on doing your thing, man. Because like you said, you going to blow their bitch asses up next year anyway. So fuck them. Peace.
Woo! Thank you, sir. Appreciate that, man. I love some of these callers, man. You gotta love some. All right, now I'm back to my regulars. All right, let me tell you. So let me lock this conference up.
The conference has been locked.
All right, so this is how we gonna do it. I'm gonna go Mr. D. I'm gonna go Mr. Lawson. I'm gonna go N.O. Joe. I'm gonna go Mr. DeGratier, and then the ending a minute with you, Mr. Benjamin. All right, that's how we gonna roll it. Okay, guess not. All right, if you hung up, you out of here because I like the conference. All right, Mr. Lawson. Oh, it was Mr. D. He hung up. Mr. Lawson, coming to you.
Hey, Scotty, how y'all doing tonight? Perry, it's good to see you, bro. Listen, I want to just clarify for Miss Karen what I was getting at. See, these two things can't be true. When I say get over being dicked, this is what I mean. It's people who graduated with degrees who make a career out of stunting at homecoming. Everywhere they go, I'm Morehouse, I'm Spelman, I'm Howard, I'm A&T. All into the brand right up until it's time to write the check and do the work. And then when that time comes up, then we got to go back and remember how we've been dicked. And all I'm saying is, well, why we come back from homecoming? Because that's not what you're talking about. When you got the ribs in your mouth, when you're having a good time, when you're thinking about the lady who kept your cap, who was underpaid because she was at an institution like Tennessee State that got basically defunded over decade after decade after decade and still produced more black graduates in the state of Tennessee than the University of Tennessee and any other white institution in the state of Tennessee. So when I say get over being dicked, if something traumatic happened to you, I'm not asking you to erase that. What I'm asking us to do is keep the main thing the main thing. Take care of the simple shit. Hit the like button, right? Whatever check you can, right? And we all have some experience that went sideways, whether you was at University of Washington or at Morehouse College. And so my point is stand on business, and you either in, right, or don't play games. Don't hit me with the trauma and you at homecoming having a blast talking about you an alum. It don't make sense to me. Now I'm clearly understood. I couldn't say all that in the chat, but I gave voice to it. Y'all have a good night.
No, I appreciate the clarification, Mr. Lawson. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
But no, he has a great point. Like you like he said, you want to impart, you want to take advantage of all the luxuries that come with repping your brand, repping your school, showing up at homecoming, smiling, waving and high, but you don't want to give back and do your part. I respect that. I respect that. Was Charleston White right about Deion and HBCUs? I don't think he was wrong. I'm gonna just say that. I don't think he was wrong. So I guess that in turn I say he's right. Joe coming in.
What's going on, Perry? What's going on, Scotty?
What's going on?
I'm with Charleston White. I say fuck Deion. That's what Deion did. Perry, let me tell you what would you say. If me and you was in the projects together, and somebody offered you a house free of charge in the suburbs, and I tell you, nah, Perry, stay here with your people. You can help your people in the project. But as soon as I'm offered a house in the suburbs for free, I take the house and leave your ass in the project. What would you say to me?
If you was to take the house and leave me in the projects?
Yeah, they offered you the house first. And I told you, nah, stay here in the project. We can do more here in the project helping our people. And then they offer me the house. I take the house and I leave you in the project by yourself. What would you say to me?
I feel dumb because you talked me out of it and then you went and got the house.
Okay. That's basically what Deion did in HBCU. He told everybody, we can do it here in HBCU. You ain't got to go to the PWI. You can do it here. And the first chance he got to go to the PWI, he left our ass right here. That's why I say fuck him.
Yikes.
I'm gone.
Hey, appreciate the call, Joe.
And, I don't think it's just so bad that the fact that he went to Colorado, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you offer me a house and I live in the hood and you asking me to go to the suburbs, I mean, that is hard to turn down. But then that's like you don't never care about the hood you came from. Like you act like you no longer ever speak about, you forgot about your hood. And they tell people that all the time, man, you forgot where you come from, huh? People get beside themselves and people forget. I think that's the big thing. When he dipped, it was like, fuck it. Nothing ever to be talked about HBCUs again. It just felt like he forgot where he came from. Nothing wrong if somebody offer you a house in the suburbs and you in the fucking hood. Go better your life. Go get that house in the suburb. But damn, don't stun on me. Don't act like we don't exist no more. Hey, I'm still your cousin.
Yeah.
I'm still your baby brother. I'm still your nephew. Don't act like I don't exist no more and then shit on me, right?
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
No, that's fair. That's fair. All right, last two callers. Mr. DeGratier and Mr. Benjamin.
Scotty, thank you so much. I have so much to say. We'll try to condense it. Oh my gosh, this conversation tonight is so difficult. We're talking about Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, and I'm not feeling the people who are calling in and talking about he came into the SWAC and we gave Deion Sanders a chance. And this is a gentleman. This is a guy who has been the GOAT in the professions that he chose to be involved with. He has led the NFL. He's done amazingly well for Major League Baseball, and we put him down. Oh God, I can't even explain. Anyway, I'll be short. Deion has done a lot. He came in and brought his accolades to the SWAC, and they was like, "Hey, y'all can ride on my coattails. That's cool. That's all good. I got money. I'm good. Matter of fact, Jackson State, I'm gonna pay for all y'all yard cleanings and picking up and getting the fields corrected and everything. I'm gonna pay for that out of my check." That's what Deion Sanders. And here we are on the back end talking about he left us hanging. So Deion, I got a lot to say here. I'm trying to keep it short. Deion said he's going to come in and change it for a lot of people. And the SWAC said he's going to change it for the SWAC. Deion said, no, we're going to change it for all sports across the globe, right? I feel that he's thinking much larger than most of us. And I appreciate Deion, what he's done. I'm cut it short. The brother Deion has come back and allowed us to ride on his coattails. We're riding on his coattails. Please let Deion do what he want to do.
Okay, Mr. DeGratia.
10 to 20 years out.
Hold on. I can't let you rock. I can't let you rock with that. Okay.
Is that Perry? Okay.
No,
yeah, I'm going to sign off. I'll skip. You got it. I'm signing off. I'm going to listen on the YouTube.
All right.
I got it.
All right.
Hey, hit the like.
All right. Okay. I had to let him go. Listen, I 80% freaking disagree with what he said. First of all, Deion didn't say it on a global scale. He said he wanted to level the playing field. That's number one. Let's be very clear about what he said. A lot of the stuff Deion had planned was already in the works by Jackson State, the players' lounge and things like that. What I did hear is that he added money to speed up the process of getting the labor costs, like helping with the labor costs, so it would speed the process up to get it done faster, right? That came from a Jackson State insider. Right now, the practice field, all Deion, hands down, Deion, right? My thing is this. Riding, okay. You can't ride somebody's coattails when it's a beneficial relationship. I want to be very clear about that. You ride somebody's coattails when one person is in a position of power and they drag you along with them, right? Deion doesn't have the platform if Ashley Robinson doesn't give it to him. Now, I will say this. Jackson State gave up their power to Deion and said, whatever you think, Deion, right? You know, like the girl off of Coming to America. Whatever you like. That's Jackson State after they got with Deion, and whatever you like. That's what they did. But you can't ride somebody's coattails when it technically started off as a mutual benefit to each. Deion wanted to coach his son and get him in a position and get the degree. I mean, get the coaching experience. And then Jack State wanted to be winners. They wanted to get the limelight and everything. So once again, it's a mutual benefit. So to me, is this: yes, you can allow Deion to do whatever he wants because he's a grown-ass man. He has the right to do so. But back to what Charleston White said, when you take a resource away from your people and jettison to white people, and then everybody gravitates to it like it's the best thing since sliced bread, there's a problem with that. That's my thing. Anything, Perry?
And it goes back to what Charleston White said. Stop worried about me saying fuck Deion. Hold yourself accountable, black people. That's basically what he was saying. Deion didn't do it by himself. How you think all that transition to be the power and the money and everything else and the attention of everything else that's happening over there? It's us. It's us supporting that. It's us egging that on. It's us giving it the extra bling that them white folks been wanting. Because they know that bling gonna say, who brings the bling better than us?
Facts.
Right? It was so much bling. Folks was talking about Colorado band got to do something like what the HBCU's doing. It was so much bling, they had to get all of these things to try to mimic some type of way of the black culture. That's really what turned Colorado. It was bringing this culture into a white world. And I'm talking about a lily white world. We're talking Colorado, right?
Yeah.
So it's taking what we have and taking it over there to create branding and marketing for them, when he looking at what are we going to do for that same branding and marketing over here? Are we mass watching HBCU games? Are we mass buying HBCU gear? Are we talking about the HBCU games the same way we talking about Colorado playing? Like he said, does anybody give a damn once Deion left who the new coach at Jackson State is?
Nope.
Who the new quarterback at Jackson State?
Nope.
Did anybody give a damn about the kids that was left behind or that, had to go somewhere else?
Nope.
And when they did do it on the, 60 Minutes, they tried to paint the picture of Jackson as though he did leave the hood to go to the suburbs. And wasn't that the uproar everybody had? Black folks then should have came to the defense and said, no, we're not going to let you paint us like that. But they were so blinded and glorified by what the new world of the white world he in now, where the air seems to be so much taste better and it ain't so much crime as they say. We did that to ourselves because we didn't stand up, and that's Charleston's white point from the jump. Not to necessarily fuck Deion, But why don't we stand up? And why didn't we stand up to continue the name hashtag HBCUs instead of letting it die away the same way he say? Are we still mad about George Floyd? Are you still mad about Sandra Bland? Are we still upset about these things, or are they just trends and phase that once somebody tell us what we want to hear or give us what we want, we let it fade away because we don't actually stay true to a cause. We just stay true to what now sounds like the next big thing.
That's fair. No, I get it, man. And let me go to Mr. Benjamin, then we'll wrap this up. Mr. Benjamin, coming to you.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
I rebuke that last caller in the name of Jesus. Now, if we remember, I'm a history major. I graduated from Payne College in spring of 2021. If we can recall, Malcolm X spoke specifically on Black comedians being the leaders in our community, and how if you look at other communities, they do not have entertainers or persons like that being the leaders or persons that you look up to. You expressed the small-minded mindset when you were teaching basketball in Japan. As a high school teacher, I see that. And one of the things that we can point to is when you looked at when Black people, specifically in the 20s, our homes and our family structure was better. Like Tulsa, Oklahoma, the dollar circulated 39 times before it left the community. So what happened is, as you know, people would attack it. And then you had Truman with the Great Society, and then you had the integration. And once that occurred, then you saw Black people stopped to invest as much into our own businesses, and we started to give up our ownership of our own agency for more access and integration. Something that my grandfather, God rest his soul, who was born in 29, spoke about, how integration was the worst thing that happened to Black people, not because we got access, but because we stopped investing in ourselves and wanting to have ownership. Now, when you look at, this is a scriptural thing where it says the harvest is plenty, but the laborers are few. At Payne College, when it came time for different events or parties or even homecoming, people would show up. But if you said, hey, it's time to clean up the day after, you might see a sprinkle of people, some frat brothers and sorority sisters, and then that would basically be it. In regards to the celebrity worship and idolatry, people need to understand first and foremost that when you observe these celebrities, they practice idolatry themselves. They idolize their fame, they idolize their money, they idolize their women, along with different wicked satanic messaging. You cannot expect these people who have shown their entire life to be self-serving to all of a sudden have a mentality to be focused. And when you said, where did all of this go? If you look at us no longer looking up to the doctors and the lawyers and these activists, well, you look, there is not a collective consciousness of us as a people like it used to be, because the family structure has been completely dismantled. When you look at other cultures, it has not been to the extent that it has been for the specific American Negro. And because of that lack of collective consciousness, what you have are people who are suffering from not only poverty, but all forms of sexual and physical abuse and lack of resources, and parents who don't know how to parent. And as a result of that, you then have students and children who are raised by their television and by the internet. And what they see is, this is a way for me to make money.
Yeah.
Because getting money quick is easier for me to be able to get what I desire. The microwave mindset. And when you have things like Instagram and TikTok that program people's mind to program their minds to have gratification quicker, that delayed gratification of going to college and focusing on their crafts, that doesn't work. And then when you add in the OnlyFans mentality and the OnlyFans aspect that says that you can sell your body and get resources, that girl that is at college trying to get her work, realizing that, you know what, instead of doing this, I can bust it open and get money. That is the reason why we are in this type of situation. There isn't a strong home culture structure. And just because it's a two-parent household, that's not good enough if they're getting raped at the home. They have to have a stable two-parent household or a stable community that even if it's not a two-parent, that there is a effective support system. So what you have is toxic messaging. And even with the students today, The students who are in ISS did great work, but when they get back in the classroom, they are around other people and they immediately revert back to that negative behavior. And when they go home, they have to raise themselves, and there's no food and there's no resources. So at this particular juncture, that's where this has gone, Mr. Scott and Mr. White. That is the reason why we see the mindset of, why are you trying to be articulate? Or when you are intelligent African American, they say that you're talking white, as if being articulate and enunciating and pronouncing your words means that you are intelligent. We were the first ones who have done things, whether it was the Moorish Empire or the Songhai Empire. We have been those people who have been the forefront of mathematics, measurement mathematics with the pyramids, or even Babylon when you're dealing with the ziggurats. We have established these things, but we have been programmed and we have bought into the lie, but we can no longer just simply use it as an excuse because we have access. So that is where we are dealing with. And one of the things that we, and by we, I mean my generation, what we are attempting to do is we're trying to bring forth a think tank. We are alumni, we're young, I'm 28. How can we impart this information to kids who are not in college and might not have the resources? Because we have to shift that mindset, because they're not getting it at home. So you have to find a way to reach these kids instead of saying, man, what's going on with this generation? Which is why I chose K-12 instead of going straight to graduate school, because I said they won't even reach that if they don't have a change in perspective.
Yeah.
But that's it. I appreciate your show. I just want to let y'all both know that I'm keeping you in your prayers. Continue to do your work. Never compromise your morals. Never give up control for your show, because that is one thing that consistently sets you apart. And remember that anytime that you want to do something great, that there's always going to be some pushback. If you follow Christ, you're going to have some pushback. Jesus was a part of the Essenes. He was a radical person. They didn't like him. When you look at people who say, oh, I'm down for the cause, we talked about Sandra Bland and stuff, people are upset until it's time to say, let's boycott this, and I'm not going to spend my money on some J's, but I'm going to spend money on this Black-owned business, and I'm going to give them time to get it right, because they are trying to build this infrastructure, and they have the mentality, and they have the diligence. So what you're going to see is, as the word of God is always true, the harvest is plenty, but the laborers are few. So y'all just continue to keep up the work, because if you just build it, the Lord will make room for your gift. So God bless you and take care.
Hey, appreciate it, Mr. Benjamin. Great way to close out. Thank you so much. Listen, man, that was a lot. I thank you guys for letting me put Mr. Benjamin last. And let me just say this. The one thing that bothers me about the Black community in general is just the lack of, okay, it's this to me, right? It's when you find community, is that it's not expected, right? What I mean by that is this: when you find Black people that will support you and give, and you're like, man, this is so dope. It's not something that to me, it should just be more common, right? It should be more of a situation to where we see more of us working together and facilitating things to where we could help each other to get wherever we want to go. And I know a lot of people will say, like, oh, Scotty, like you YouTubers need to come together and things like that. I'll say, everybody's goal and everybody's mindset is different, right? So I don't want to sound like I'm being a hypocrite in saying that, because I do think that everybody has their own vision for what they see. So I'll leave it there. But just in the general aspect of us as a community coming together, like what Jackson did what the mass meeting did for their school was amazing. I'm going to use the community that I bring together on a day-to-day basis to give back to the institution. There needs to be more of that. And it needs to be, to me, I don't want to say we need to have more celebrities on the sideline, but I do think there needs to be more focus and more a deliberate effort to put HBCUs in the spotlight by Black people. That is my thing. Like, why not support the Black stuff? I don't get it, but you know, it's on you, P.
My thing about the Black community, and I always say, you got good Black folks, then you got niggas. And we all know the difference when you ride through the hood and you dealing with some niggas, and then you know when you dealing with some good Black folks. And everybody, you can say what you want. You know the difference when you dealing with it, right? You done dealt with some niggas and you done dealt with some good Black folks. The thing is, we got to get out this mindset that we got to all be the same. And but what we got to do, because I remember growing up, you saw it on billboards where you would have 6 different students. Somebody will hold a cello. Somebody will be holding a ball. Somebody will be having that, you know, as a doctor. Somebody has a book and look like a lawyer. Somebody look like, those were things, because let's look, what we live in today is imagery.
Yeah.
And what you get to see. Right. And a lot of times we don't control what the kids are seeing because we just want them to be entertained and leave us alone, get the hell out of my face. And we're not controlling what it is that they see and what they hear. Because I can remember growing up, I grew up in a household of structure. Right. It was old school. I got what they call the old school. When grown folks was talking and you tried to open your mouth and be a part of that conversation, you may get smacked in your mouth or you get told, get up out of here. Grown folks talking. Yeah. Y'all go outside. You had a place for a child. When you look at these kids today, it's easy to say, fuck these kids, Scotty. Especially kids that look like us. They're disrespectful. Have no respect for authority. I always tell people, when I was young, we cussed. Of course I cussed.
Yeah.
But when somebody grown came around, we had enough respect to stop. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. As soon as they leave, shit, fuck, whatever, we back to what we was doing.
Yeah.
There was a respect and a level of respect for that. That respect is gone. You know why? Parents don't want to raise their kids, and the kids are being raised by what the white folks want us to be. They are controlling the propaganda and what they seeing. It's in the music. Everything that they see is being programmed into them. This ain't by coincidence. This was planned. These kids are programming. You know what really makes people scared? These kids are fearless. If you could ever get some sense into this generation of kids that have no fear, do you know how powerful and how strong this generation of Black kids can be to the world? Because they don't fear. They not our grandparents and great-grandparents where, oh, don't say that to Mr. You know, the white folks don't. These kids don't give a damn who they say it to. And that's what scares society as a whole, to program them. And then not only that, to program the parents to allow them to get away to be like that. We have to be able to teach and raise our kids up. And a lot of times it starts, not even a lot of times, 100% of the time, it starts with structure of a Black man being in a school. It starts with the structure of a Black man being at home, because parents, in terms of mothers, can do all that they want. And if you don't have a mother that's willing to put aside her nurturing habit to be a tough love habit, and most mothers sometimes have a hard time. That's why I say, oh, they raise the mama's boys, because she just loves her baby boy, right? I'm going to nurture him. Every time he falls down, I'm going to help him up. When he has issues, I got to be right there. Dads be like, if his ass fall, let his ass get up on his own. He got to learn. And then when he get up, I teach him, hey, when you do get up, put a Band-Aid on, son. Put a little peroxide. It's the learning things of how to be a man to then teach the next generation or to have structure, because you got to have structure. And these young males that's out here that look like us, and that's what I was talking about yesterday. There's a lot of shit you and I could be out here doing or saying on here, but we Black brothers on here at least having conversations to be where it is today.
Yeah.
We got to be able to train up these young Black brothers. They're mean, they're mad, they got a lot of displaced anger. And it's all over the place. Look at our communities as a whole. Some people are removed from it. Where I live at today, I am removed from it. I would say, but I go to the hood. I don't have no problem with where, you know. But the thing about it is, for my son, I want my son, who you see up there, to have a better life than me.
Yeah.
And each generation of my family has always continued to put a stepping stone for the next to go. It's not a giant leap. It takes time. Yeah. But at least I was blessed to be able, and I don't have no problem. You can say, you know, if you a kid or you was a nerd or because you smart or you this, you that. I don't give a damn. And that was the beautiful thing my mom taught me when I was young.
Same.
Don't give a damn about what nobody else got to think. Who the fuck are they?
Yeah.
These kids give a fuck too much because they care about being shared. They care about being liked. They cared about you. They do.
Hey, I just like how you said it. They care too. They give a fuck too much. That's perfect. That's perfect.
They do.
Yeah, they
If
do.
you take some kids and say, "Hey, we going bird watching," and remotely if one of their friends at school, what the fuck y'all went bird? Boy, you lame as hell. Then the females looking at you like, man, nobody like no bird watching that nigga. You bird watching that. You know, you start to get degraded for being different, and it ain't because being different. It's just simply because they don't understand different. Nobody's taught to show them it's okay to be different. They all been punched into this world of the programming that because you got to fall in that world of the programming. You got to hold the ball. You got to be a singer or a dancer or a rapper. You know, it's got to be some form of celebrity. You talking about you finna go to
a chess tournament,
mock trial.
Yeah.
You know, you finna go do a science fair project. You know, you finna go volunteer to pick up trash or, you know, just anything. In our communities, we continue to look at that as a whole. Now, some of us that's on here, we intellectual or we at least made it enough where we're not still in that world. But that's what I say. You got black folks and you got niggas. There's a United States full of niggas out there. In every community, in every state that you know when you did, it's like, damn, bro, we all got them as family members. There's a family member you can talk to all day trying to help them out. They just know one way, nigga shit. They can't get on the up.
They can't get around it. They can't get around it.
They always in their own way, and they always tripping themselves up because of the program. And then the main thing is, bro, we have as young people because they so fearless. And what really hurt me, especially for the young brothers, death or jail.
Yeah.
And death and jail has come so common. Death don't even hurt anymore. Death don't even bring anything to you anymore. It's just like, oh, okay, you want to. Death used to mean something when somebody died. That was a hurt. That don't mean going to jail. That don't mean nothing no more. That's a rite of passage now when you come out. Hell yeah, I got locked up. I did, I did. And then for the females on the women's side of us in the community. I mean, goddamn, when you look at Sexy Red and realize anywhere you go, kids yelling, ski.
I thank God my kids don't know that song. I thank God my kids don't know that song.
And
or
like, I mean, I'm not hating on what she does to be successful because she's an entertainer. But once again, you have to manage what your kids watch. You have to control. She is not for kids shaking her ass, making, you know, sex tape. Everything she does with that ghetto mindset, nigga mentality ain't for kids. That shit's for grown-ups. But kids are watching it because nobody's controlling them. NBA YoungBoy, if you listen
oh
to
my
him,
God, that Bama
is not for kids. I'm not gonna hate how he getting, how he do, and I'm just naming them because I know what they like these days.
Oh my God.
But that ain't for kids.
Kid's a walking murderer, bro. I swear to God. Like it's like I'm like so I it's funny you bring him up. So I help my my local high school here what I play for, and you know the kids be like, "Hey, coach, can I bring my speaker? Have a good time?" And the kids be like, "Hey, coach, put on that NBA YoungBoy." I'm like, bro, that will never be on my speaker. Like that Bama talks about shooting and killing and murdering like every other bar. I'm like, why would you? Yeah, coach, that's what we gotta get hyped for the. I said, man, I don't get it, man.
Messages got you growing up to be a goddamn serial killer. And you don't even know it. Subliminal messages got you growing up to be a hoe and you having hoish tendencies because the song telling you to be a hoe. Fuck a nigga, break a nigga. You know, it's ops. I mean, I hear the word ops now more than ever behind the. Why everybody you goddamn ops? What happened to friends? You ain't got no friends. Everybody an op. You just mad at every fucking body. Everybody an op. That's an op. You an op, nigga. Fuck you. You an op. And this is the conversations.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna sit here and act like it ain't. The way that I'm talking, trust me, we're wise enough to be in worlds and be able to carry ourselves and have conversations and use great diction. But the vast majority of the time, we know when we get amongst each other, you know the kind of conversations we have. You know how it's gonna go, especially it's the holidays. It's gonna be some cousins and some family members you don't want showing up to the crib, and you know why? Because they just some plumb ignorant niggas. And when they get in there, you like, God damn. And that's the problem. We're mad about everything. We teach aggression towards each other. We don't have that love the same way we don't have love for a man and a woman in our community. We tear down the man just as much as we tear down a woman. How can we build together and you my op, brother? If I say what's up to you, what the fuck you looking at? Females have it worse than ever in the black community. They always say, I don't have a lot of female friends. I be like, why not? Because they do this and do that. It's the issues that they have amongst each other, because the number one thing is we don't know how to communicate. Everybody got the mindset that somebody got them fucked up. And the mindset of once somebody got you fucked up, there's no repairing it, because we don't know how to communicate, which is why we see murders being high. Motherfuckers dying over nothing.
Facts.
Nothing. Because of misunderstanding, or probably because you let some other motherfuckers hype it up and take it to a whole nother level because they instigated it for entertainment, for your demise. Or you got something to prove because your pride's so big, everybody can't look at you because you scared somebody gonna say you look like a bitch in the process. So what? And you'll lose your life over there while you in the grave and they going on laughing at the next thing that's coming up. Ain't nobody mourning you. That's, once again, death does not have that same impact that it had before when you talked about our community. When somebody young died, it was like, damn, little bro died.
Yeah.
Bro, that dude didn't deserve that, bro. Like, that was a good dude. Now, it's just like, oh, okay. We desensitized to it. Our community has now been lost to that. And it starts with the kids. And it starts with parenting. Don't expect to send your kids to school and the teacher going to be the parent for 30 of these little motherfuckers in the classroom. And you want the teacher to be able to teach, parent, and everything else on top of the life that they deal with. I tried teaching for a year, Scotty. I told them I ain't there yet. I ain't got the patience. I was fuck them kids. You know, I'm sorry, but I got tired of being everybody. The little girls fast. They don't have no respect. Trying to fuck, trying to do whatever. The boys always, man, well, I'm breaking up a fight. What the hell y'all mad about? Oh, he said something, man. Shut up. He ain't said nothing. And then you mad at me because I'm trying to tell you mad at me because I'm trying to tell you the right things in life, because you acting like I don't know what they, and that's the biggest thing. Why kids act like they know every damn thing just because you can Google it? There's two different ways to Google something and to have a real experience. You understand what I'm saying? You can Google something all day, but that don't create the same experience. You got to have an experience. That's why it's good to listen to older people, because they can tell you through their experiences, hey, young brother, hey, young sister.
That ain't it.
That's why them grandmas used to tell those young ladies, where you going with that on? That ain't, you hear female cussing, that ain't ladylike. Females, man, go crazy with the cussing. That ain't ladylike. What you got on? There was a sense of understanding and respect, and it meant something to listen words of the wise. But I tell you what my mom said, and I'll leave you with this. I take a lot of quotes from her because when I was young, I didn't understand. But now that I'm older, it comes to me a lot more. And she said, Perry, one day when you get older, the wise man is going to look like the fool, and the fool is going to look like the wise man. And the more evident I see in this world today, when somebody has something positive to say, like Charleston White said, when I was in the bow tie and going in here and going there, y'all didn't want to listen. But when I started coming on here saying niggas and fuck Deion and doing all, now I got your attention. I had to stoop to that level just for you to hear what I had to say, because as I'm saying that, don't get caught up into that. Catch what I'm telling you in between that. Yep. But people continuously miss that. The community work, the reforming young people, trying to help them. They just so caught up on, did you hear him say, you're missing it. But he said, at least you're listening, because beforehand, you didn't even pay no attention. You
weren't even listening.
So that's how I look at it. He had to be a fool as a wise man just to get people to pay attention to him. When he was a wise man, nobody looked at him. So I'll leave it at that.
No, it's a great soliloquy to end it on. Man, this was a great show. I didn't expect it to go this long, but I appreciate everybody for calling in. I appreciate all the 15 PV fans that support and watch the channel as well. Perry, first of all, I'm going to give a shout out to all my callers. Mr. Porter, great ending to the show. Perry, great soliloquy to end the show. I appreciate you, my guy. Real talk. Just the knowledge and the acumen that you bring to the show. I really appreciate it. So listen, guys,
Tell him my birthday, man. Y'all buy me a drink or
You didn't even
something,
say
man.
the day. You didn't even say the day. When's your birthday?
Oh, December the 10th. It's gonna be on Sunday. So when y'all give it to the Lord, you know, think about Perry.
I did. I sent you $15 because Mr. DeGratier he super chat 30. He said get half to Perry. So I cashed up you 15 for Mr. DeGratier. So shout out to him. So yeah. So make sure you guys hit up my boy Perry's cash app is right there on the bottom. P White 1210. All right. $ P White 1210. 5, 10, 15. Get them some paper plates. All right.
Give me some paper plates, paper cups, baby. It's the holiday season, you know.
You got Christmas coming up too. Got kids' Christmas got to come up.
Kids' Christmas coming up.
Hey, listen, it is what it is. I feel you on that one. And listen, until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless.